journey. Thank you very much. Well, today we will be learning from the dreamers, the believers, the achievers, the pioneers, the go-getters, and those who have never said no through this summit. And we will get pretty close on how the hell did they do it through their lovely keynotes. So before we begin, I'd like you to do some checkpoints. Please keep your audios mute and your videos on because we want maximum participation, and it's always lovely to see beautiful, beautiful, bright faces. Kindly share your name, city, and profession in the chat box. Do you know that all our speakers are from different countries across the globe? So please tell us, where are you all from? Please type in the chat box. Okay, Sachin says he's from Delhi. Dr. Anushi says she's from Dubai. Vanisha is a life coach from Noida. Samir says he's from Mumbai. JJ is from Malaysia. Shriya Mehta is from Seattle. Dishita is from Oman. Kalpana ji is from Mumbai. Sapna ji is from Ahmedabad. And we have Mr. Prashant from Noida. Mansi from Delhi. Lovely, lovely. So happy to have you all here. We have Mr. Siman from Dubai. Wow, wow. So many people across different parts of the world. It's so beautiful to connect with you all virtually. So you guys can ask questions and we can answer you in the chat box. After every keynote, we will pick two members from the audience, and they can write their questions in the chat box, and our speakers will try to answer them. And you can ask as many questions as you want. The approximate time to complete this summit is 2 p.m. IST. Please do not unmute yourself unless asked for. And thank you very much. So should we begin? Are you guys ready? Are you guys excited? Please type ready, excited in the chat box. All right. Lovely. Right, so moving on, before I move on, I'd like to tell you something about TLC. Since I said this IPGS is powered by TLC, Teachers Are Leaders Community. Well, TLC is an implementation focused global mastermind community. And the purpose and mission of TLC is to tilt the world in a structured and positive and systematic way. Tilt means teach, inspire, lead, and transform by the acts, to the acts, and for the acts. Acts is authors, coaches, and trainers. And impact 1 billion lives by creating 100,000 leaders. To tap into collaborative intelligence of like-minded teachers, leaders, peers, and professionals. And why you should join TLC. If you want to impact and transform thousands of lives, if you want to develop your coaching skills, business skills, and training skills, if you want to learn, share, and collaborate with like-minded peers and professionals, I'll tell you what, TLC is the place to be. We have collectively, we have around more than 300 coaches, and today you're going to have a glimpse of around 10 of our amazing, wonderful coaches that we have picked from TLC Polaris Mastermind. All right. So it is said that the world is ruled by a trinity, and our TLC is also governed by a trinity of amazing leaders. I'd like to thank Mr. Murli Sundaram, who's the founder of TLC Mastermind. He's a happiness coach, and it's his brains and his excellence that has brought us all together. And I'd like to thank Mr. Gunnar Sekran. He's the head of training of franchise and operation at TLC Mastermind. He's a business growth coach. And none other than who is also with us, Mr. Sachin Daya. He's our vice president. He's a senior vice president of TLC India 3. He's an entrepreneur, author, and success habit coach. And he's also here with us. So now it's time to begin our amazing keynote. Before we move ahead, I'd like to tell you what you are going to learn today. You're going to learn about becoming a money magnet. You'll learn 3 quick hacks to instantly grow your company. And you'll also learn leadership through communication. You'll be learning 4 steps to build resilience in the fixed. You'll be harnessing professional communication. And after that, we'll have a short break, and we will be learning 5 more keynotes. We'll be hearing from 5 more speakers that is on these topics. That is 5 ways to unleash the successful you. We'll be learning about team building by retention, the mantra for growth, 3 ways to craft a winning personal brand, and master your mind and grow. How many of you are excited by hearing about these topics? Type excited in the chat. Lovely, lovely. I'm also excited, and I hope all of you are, and the speakers too. So let's begin with our first keynote topic, becoming a money magnet. Who doesn't want to be a magnet? And to present that, we have our very own Mr. Vishal Gunani, who's a TEDx speaker, a keynote speaker. He is a serial entrepreneur running 3 businesses called Magic Windows, Rising Circle, and Unicorn. His venture Rising Circle is an ed tech dedicated towards transformation of life. And it is also incubated at IIM Bangalore. Wow, he's helped around hundreds of professionals in successfully achieving their goals across 5 countries. He has been an ex-BNI Ahmedabad director, and he's also a co-author of our very own book, Caterpillar to Butterfly. He also has one upcoming book to be launched later this year. So stay tuned, stay connected with him to know more. So type VEG in the chat box if you want to become a money magnet. VG, I want to see VG in the chat box. Lovely, great. I can see everybody is here and participating. So over to you, Vishal.
Thank you very much, Sonia, and I welcome everyone to our first Global International Professional Growth Summit. I've just shared my screen. Just show me a thumbs up if you can see the screen. All right, I'll quickly start. The topic that I'm going to talk about today is becoming a money magnet. Okay, but before I actually start, I want to ask you, why does this question arise that you want to become a money magnet? Why do you want to become a money magnet? The core, I'm sure you're using the chat box, but the core that I see is because I believe that today I'm not a money magnet, right? And hence I want to become a money magnet in future. Now, why does this even a thought arise in my mind that I am not a money magnet? Let's go back in time, okay? When I was a young kid, okay, there were certain phrases about money that were told to me, okay? And I'm sure some of you or most of you or maybe all of you have heard about these thoughts when you were young, maybe from our parents, from our grandparents, from our teachers. I'm going to give you small clues and you have to tell me what phrase this is about money, okay? So the first one is, why can't I change? Okay. When I was young, I was told this. Clues. Use the chat box. What do you think this is? I can see you smiling, but I can't see a chat box here somehow. Okay. Did you say money does not grow on trees? Sorry, I cannot see the chat box. All right. And I was also told this. What is this? I can see some confused faces, 2 or 3 of them typing. I can see Umama very confused. Okay, did you guys say money is the root cause of all evil? Right? Were we all told this when we were kids? Right? I'm going to tell you a very short story. I'm sure you would have heard this story maybe a million times before. But to set the context right, I'm going to share this story with you. Once upon a time, there's this young baby elephant called Jumbo. Okay, this guy was extremely notorious. Okay, he would steal bananas from vendors. He would play pranks with his friends, and he would go out of control for his caretakers. They tried every bit to make him disciplined, but it was all in vain. So one day they decided to tie this tiny elephant with a rope, okay, so that he bees at one place. This guy, as he was mischievous and notorious, tried very hard to get free from this rope, but he couldn't do it. Finally, he got disappointed, he got sad, and he gave up. Right? Today, that Jumbo has actually become a Jumbo. Okay, he's like 2,500 kgs today. But even today, he feels that he cannot break that chain that is tied to a small nail at the other end. Right? This is exactly what is happening with us. Because of all those limiting beliefs which were told us when we were young, today, no matter, even if you're earning 10,000 rupees a month or 1 crore rupees a month, we still have those limiting beliefs which are stopping us to actually go out there and become a money magnet. Rather than educating us for how money is the root cause of all evil, if we would have taught the right things in our childhood, the things would have been different. Okay, let's see this as an example. Imagine, okay, just imagine you are thrown in the wrestling ring with this man on the screen as your opponent, okay, and you don't know the rules of the game, you are never trained to fight or to wrestle, what do you think would happen to you? And I would like to see the chat box. I'll search for the chat box. You can type, what do you think would happen to you if you are in the ring with this guy? Oh, okay, I can see it now. He will crush me, says Sonia. Lose, destroyed, broken in million pieces. Yeah, Shreya, correct. Right? Now, okay. And if you're a great athlete, you might tell me, Vishal, you know what? I'll hustle around for 15, 20 seconds and I'll escape. I'll get down the ropes and I'll just run and save myself. Right? But imagine, rather than this man being in the ring, if there were these many people in the ring. Remember this battle royal, the last man standing wins, right? Imagine you're thrown in the ring with so many people around. It can be one person hitting you, two people hitting you. It can be a team of 4 hitting you at the same time. Okay, what do you think happens to you in that case? Let me see the chat box again. Chalk Slam says Sachin, yeah. The Kane and Undertaker. Crushed, dad, they run away. You can't run away, Dr. Anushi, from so many people at the same time. Right? Now let's correlate this with the money game. Okay, we are not trained for it. Okay, we've only seen our parents, our uncle, aunt, mom, grandparents to do business, and we just learned it from a distance, like how we have seen a wrestling match on the TV, right? And one fine day we graduate and we are thrown into the money game. Now you might say, I'm not playing the money game, but gentlemen, if you have an income and if you have an expense, you're already in the money game, irrespective whether you are an entrant in the corporate world or you are a seasoned businessman. If you have an income and if you have an expense, you're already playing the game, right? So what kind of education is needed to play the money game? You have an IQ and you have an EQ. When the IQ talks about learning accounts, learning financial planning, learning investment banking and all of that, right? But I have seen a lot of people with great accounting knowledge and financial planning who are managing crores of funds of other people, but they're still not able to make themselves financially free. Why is that so? And at the same time, we all know at least one uncle of ours who has never gone to school, not even kindergarten. Okay, forget about learning accounts and financial planning. And they're doing brilliant with their businesses. Okay, this guy doesn't even know that account receivables come on the which side of the balance sheet, right? And he's minting money. Why is that so? Because his EQ with the money is extremely powerful. Even with zero IQ, he's making so much money. Because you can hire people who are good with IQ for the money, but you cannot hire people with a great EQ for the money. You have to do it for yourself. Okay, let's understand the emotional quotient of money here. There are basically 3 aspects. First of all, money itself has emotions, right? Secondly, your own emotions. And third is the relationship between the money and you. What kind of emotions do you think the money carry? Use the chat box. What do you think money might be carrying? What emotions? Let me just brief you. Let me just give you an idea. Every hand that a money exchanges, it carries the emotions of that person. Okay, type it in the chat box. What do you think? What kind of emotions do you think money can carry? Energy, of course. What kind of energy? Multiple emotions, says Sapna Narayan. Fear, says Anushi. Correct. Welcomed, says Shreya Mehta. Positive, says great. Freedom. Let me take you to the 2 extreme corners of the spectrum. First of all, happy emotions. Money is used to spread love, to spread joy, to spread happiness. Imagine a 9-year-old guy asking money from his dad because he wants to buy a gift for his mother's birthday. For a 9-year-old kid, it's a sign of love, care, and happiness. All the money used for education, for business expansions, for marriages, carry the feelings of happiness and joy and love. At the same time, let's talk about the other end of the spectrum. A lot of money is used to spread fear, to spread hatred. How about wars? What do you think? What kind of emotions would the money carry when used in wars? Betting, right? Abduction, murders, right? A lot of money is used. And you might not know that all the money that you have right now in your bank account or in your wallet or in the lockers have exchanged these hands before they reached you. Right? Now, when people say that money is the root cause of all evil, I believe money is not the root cause of all evil. It is the lack of money which is the root cause of all evil. Because the person who is doing the murder, the person who is actually fighting in the war, he needs money. Maybe somebody sitting up there might have a lot of money, but the person who is actually doing it, the act, has a lack of money. Let's go further. On the other hand, now you have your own emotions. We'll quickly go through it. So when you see your neighbor buying a new car, which is bigger than yours, how do you feel? Do you feel happy or you feel jealous? When you see your friends going to Maldives for a vacation, wherein you can't even afford to go to Goa, how do you feel looking at their pictures from on Instagram? Right? All these emotions that you have, it has an impact on your money. And last and the most important emotional quotient here is a relationship between you and the money. Right? Understand, this is one relation apart from your relationship with yourself, which is going to stay with you forever. Okay, this is one wife of yours or one husband of yours with which you cannot get divorced. This is one girlfriend or a boyfriend of yours wherein you cannot have a breakup. This is one parent of yours wherein you cannot one day pack your bags and say, I'm leaving. You cannot. This is one kid of yours where you cannot say, just leave the house. You cannot. It will be with you no matter what. Right? So what kind of relationship do you have with money? Is it the one on the left, which is happy, smiling, loving, caring, or one on the right, wherein you are stressed because of the money and money is stressed because of you? What kind of relation do you have? Right? So quickly, okay, last few seconds, few minutes left, I believe. Let's do a small exercise, okay? And so in the longer format, we do about 11 different exercises, but here I'll share just one because of lack of time. Okay, just close your eyes for a minute. Okay, close your eyes. Imagine all the money that you have in the world. Okay, right from money in your lockers, money in your bank accounts, the gold that you have, the cryptocurrency, everything, the Paytm money, the UPIs, every money that you have with you, visualize and request all that money to come in front of you. Just believe that it's all there. Okay, it's all in front of you. Just be aware of your surroundings. Just be aware of my voice, all the people on the Zoom call. Just be aware of the seat that you're sitting on, your feet touching the floor. Just be aware. Okay, now that all this money is in front of you, say that all the negative emotions, negative thought forms, negative energies that you're carrying with you, for all the wrong deeds that you have been used before, I request the universe to disintegrate all these energies from you. Just imagine, visualize that all these negative energies, negative thought forms are now being removed from all the money that you have, from your bank accounts, to your wallets, to your lockers, to all the gold that you have, the real estate you have, all these negative energies, whatever bad deeds the money has been used, right from betting to murders to kidnapping, all these negative energies are now being removed. Okay, now money is cleansed, 100% cleansed. There's not 0.1% of negativity in your money now. Okay, now we'll use again the energy of the universe to bless this money. Imagine you're blessing the money and there's a lot of flow of energy from the universe on this money. Okay, the money is now recharged. It is happy, it is smiling at you. Okay, it is extremely happy to get into a great relationship with you right now. And you know that one day this is going to leave you and go to some other hands, and you happily let it go. You say, okay, may you will always be used for the right purposes, for the right education, right knowledge, right understanding. This can always be used for the right deeds. And you come back to me in multiple folds. Just smile at your money and imagine it is smiling back at you. Also, this is, okay, you can open your eyes. This is one of the 11 exercises that we do, but I'm sure this was a short of time. So I have an offer for you. You can do like a big masterclass just on helping you become more and attract more money. You can scan this QR code and we'll do like a 45-minute free masterclass on 10th of April. Okay, just register for the masterclass. And I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity. Thank you very much, everyone. And over to you, Sonia.
Well, thank you for that power pack keynote. So how many of you think now you all can become a money magnet, and Mr. VG has changed your perspective over it? Type VG in the chat box if you think you are now a money magnet too. Awesome, awesome. So we can take two quick questions from the audience. If you would like to ask any questions from Mr. Vishal, you can type them in the chat box quickly, so that we can move on to the next speaker. All right. So in order to connect for that masterclass, I am also mentioning. Okay. Mr. Ms. Sapna, Mr. Sapan is asking how we can cleanse money consciously.
So hi, Sapan. So of course there are various methods. Okay. So one that I use very consciously is every time you send out money to somebody, okay, even if it is a vegetable vendor, just take like a pause for a fraction of a second. Be grateful for the money you have and bless the money, saying that, you know, when it is going to a person, it will help him become a better person, or maybe put food on the table. Okay, just takes like a fraction of a second to have this thought consciously before you're handing over the money. Okay, at the same time, when you're receiving a money, okay, so what I do is, before I actually put this money into the locker room or before it goes into my bank account, I take a minute or two, right, to cleanse as we did, okay, and then to energize. So before it actually mixes with all the extra money that you have, right, this is cleanse before it actually goes into that locker. Okay, so these are two things that I do. And that's kind of a Sunday ritual that I follow, that every Sunday morning I use all the money that I have. Thanks, Sapan, for that question.
I hope, Sapan, that has answered your question. And thank you very much for that knowledge. Mr. Vishal, I have shared the link in the chat. Whoever wants to join his masterclass, and stay till the end, because I'll also be sharing 10 bonuses by all these wonderful speakers and how to connect with them. So stay tuned. And with that, I'd like to move on to our next speaker. Please give me a moment. And here we are. All right, so our next speaker is about to present on 3 quick hacks to instantly grow your confidence. And I'd like to call Dishita Mulya. Dishita Mulya is a mind transformation expert and author. She's the founder of Brain Secrets Oman, that was established in 2019, a personal development company. She's a certified clinical hypnotherapist. She's an inner child hypnotherapist and a past life regression therapist. She's mentored by legends like Bob Proctor, Marisa Peer, Silva, and many more. And she's the author of Upside You. And she also has a coloring book on positive affirmations in English and Arabic. And she's also a co-host on Caterpillar to Butterfly. She is an adrenaline junkie. She loves to travel, read, and upgrade. She meditates 30 minutes daily and spends 1 hour every day on self-growth. And she was also recently awarded as the best mind transformation expert in the Middle East in Dubai in Feb 2023. And she's on a mission to guide 1 million self-sabotaging people break their ancestral patterns and become the happiest version of themselves. Wow, that's next level. So I'd like to call upon Dishita Mulya, and Dishita Mulya, over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Give me a second while I share my screen. Sonia, can you give me a heads up if you're able to see my screen?
We can see your screen if you could slide share mode.
Wonderful. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, world. I'm going to start my presentation with a very, very quick riddle. All right, so I can't see your chats, so I would appreciate you all unmuting and telling me what is it that you think this is. I give you courage, I give you shine, I make you feel like you're doing fine. With me, you can take on anything. What am I? Any guesses on this? Like I said, I can't read chat, so maybe Sonia can do it.
Confidence.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Anushi. The answer is right, confidence. Now, confidence is something that, we don't realize, but it is a major factor to our success, to our growth, and to achieve anything that we desire. Now, just like there are different types of food cuisines, there are different types of, law of attraction categories, there are different kinds of a lot of things we don't realize, but there are different types of confidence as well. And this is a very quick intro to, things that can help you get started if you're struggling with confidence. Here are some categories like self, social, situational, emotional, intellectual, creative, body, and faith or spiritual confidence. Now, we all understand these words by the terms itself, but without complicating this too much, I will now help you get started on how to fill yourself up with confidence in any situation in a matter of minutes. So very, very quickly, I would request you all to close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths. And imagine that there is a battery in front of you that depicts your confidence level. Now, this battery, it looks like the battery that you see on your phone screens. So mentally make a note of where is your confidence battery right now from a range of 0 to 100. Is it at 20, 30, 50, 60? Where do you think you are? And make a mental note of that. Wonderful. Now, take a couple of breaths. Be okay with yourself wherever you are. And visualize a white ball right in front of you. Now bring somebody into this ball who you idolize when it comes to confidence. It could be a celebrity. You love their confidence. You love their style, the way they carry themselves, the way they speak. Maybe a speaker that you really idolize when it comes to confidence. Bring a personality that you connect to when it comes to confidence. Like I said, it could be a speaker, it could be your mentor, it could be a celebrity, it could be one of the spiritual teachers that you follow, anybody that you think carries a lot of confidence.
Dishita, your video is off. I think you need to turn it on.
It's turned on actually.
Check the device with which you are presenting, maybe.
Because I have my screen open. Maybe is that the reason?
Yeah, go ahead. No problem. Go ahead with the presentation.
All right. All right. So when you have this personality into that white ball, see what is their level of confidence. Is it 50, 80, 90, 100 on 100? After you connect with this personality that you think has a lot of confidence, I now want you to imagine that you are being blessed by them and your battery of confidence is also increasing. It's almost like they're transferring confidence into you now, just like you would transfer money from your bank account to your friend's bank account. All right. Once that's done, I now want you to cross your fingers. Left hand, right hand, doesn't matter. This is called the anchoring technique. We're anchoring it. Now follow these. Now, once you're done crossing your fingers, continue closing your eyes and follow my words mentally in your mind. I am very confident. I radiate confidence wherever I go. I'm capable of doing everything. Confidence is my birthright. I'm as confident as a 1-year toddler that wishes to walk. Even if he fails, he gets up and tries again. I'm so proud of me becoming so confident. With that, you can open your fingers and now check. What does your battery of confidence look like? Has it increased? Where are you now? If you were at 30, are you at 50? Or are you still around the same number? You can open your eyes and let me know how far have you come with your confidence in a matter of the last 2 minutes that we practiced. So with that, I want you to know that these were the 3 hacks that we used. Of course, we have limited time right now, but there is a lot of power in visualization. Every morning when you wake up, just think of the person that you idolize or that you look up to with your confidence. It could be a different person every day. And just visualize talking to them, learning things from them, and you will realize that in no time, you would actually pick habits, qualities, personalities from that mentor or personality that you idolize. There is a lot of power in positive self-talk. Now, we hear this very, very frequently, but I'll tell you how to do positive self-talk. We're fixed into this loop of criticizing ourselves all the time, and breaking that habit can be hard. So the easiest way is every morning when you're brushing your teeth, look at yourself into the mirror, directly into your own eyes, and say some positive things to yourself. You would see that in no time, within a few days, this would come to you very, very naturally. There is a lot of power in speaking good to yourself. The anchoring technique, we just practice that. Whenever you get into your deep state of meditation or when you're visualizing, at the end of it, try crossing your fingers. There are different ways of doing it, but today we practice crossing your fingers and say positive affirmations to yourself when it comes to confidence here. You could practice it with other things as well. If you're specifically looking for body confidence or social confidence or work confidence, you can anchor this technique with that as well. Just cross your fingers, say positive things to yourself. And the next time when you're in a meeting, just cross your fingers and you will see that the universe actually gives you this confidence in no time. Now, I hear a lot of people say, Dishita, I do a lot of affirmations and it never works. That's because your subconscious mind, which is the deep state of your altered state, where you carry all of your beliefs, isn't open. Now, with that, I want you to realize that whenever you get into the deep state of hypnosis, which is again getting into that meditative state, and then when you practice your affirmations, it works like magic. I will be offering you my free guide to self-hypnosis today. You should be seeing it in the chat. And there are other things that I offer as well. There's resilience building. Of course, this was a very, very brief way of showing you one of the techniques how to build your confidence. But yeah, if your confidence has been hindering from a major trauma that you've gone through in childhood, then you will have to take a one-to-one session. Confidence could be also be blocking because of certain fears, phobias, anxiety, stress that we might have to look into one-to-one. There's inner child therapy that can help you come out of anything that you've been through as a child and maybe you're still struggling with. Once we realize that your solution isn't around this lifetime, we can even tap into your past life and you will see certain things also come from there. Certain times there are moms that go through trauma and there is a form of therapy that is called womb healing therapy. And then there is you meet your higher self that actually gift you a lot of confidence as well. And with that, I would be open to any questions. And remember that, investing into your confidence is like depositing money into your bank account. They will always, your confidence will always be there once you've started working on it. And like I said, when you use the anchoring technique, you can actually use the funds in terms of confidence that you've deposited. With that, hopefully I'm able to see you guys. Yes, I'm able to see you guys. Wonderful.
Thank you for that power-packed confidence booster keynote, Dishita. And if this raised your confidence, please type DM in the chat box, and you can also type your questions and Dishita can pick 2 of those questions and answer them right away. So I'm waiting for questions, and type DM in the chat box.
Thank you so much.
That surely raised my confidence, Dishita. Thank you very much.
Very glad to hear that. Thank you, Sonia.
I have also shared her link where you can see her self hypnosis guide. You guys can connect with her. You guys can check that link. And wait till the end because we also have a bonus by Dishita Mulya. All right, thank you. So with that, I don't see any questions. And with that, I'd like to move on to our next speaker. Let me share my screen. And our next speaker will talk about leadership through communication. I'd like to call upon Sujata Balaji. She's a communication coach, she's an editor, and she's a content writer. She's a communication mentor, she's a public speaker, language aficionado. Okay, sorry, I cannot pronounce that. Please correct me, Sujata ji, because you're the communication coach. She's a content writer and editor. She's an English language trainer. A strong belief of learning is eternal. She believes in empowerment through communication, which is the need of the hour, and she encourages the art of listening. Reading is a religion which adds professional worth. She believes in that. Please correct me, Sujata ji. How do we pronounce that? And over to you.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you so much for that intricate introduction. And I'm really glad to be a part, and all the audience, the august audience who has joined us in this summit. I know today that it's quite a common topic, communication, but what are the nuances? How do we go about with it? This is what I wish to share in my presentation. I take a few seconds to start my presentation. Thank you so much. Well, as announced by Sonia, today I have chosen to speak about leadership through communication. Now, before we understand leadership, let us also find out who is a leader. Can I have a few responses from the chat, maybe through an audio check? Because I'm not able to see the chat box, 1 or 2 responses. Who is a leader? My revered audience, I await your response. Who is a leader?
Can you see
I'm
the
not
chat?
The one who creates more leaders?
Absolutely, the one who creates more leaders. And how does that happen? That happens because of the ability of leadership. And a leader influences, motivates, steers, and passionately takes the followers along with him or herself in, placing hand in hand rather than, asking them to train. That is a true leader. And when this leader conducts himself, herself, there is an aura of leadership. Now, all this boils down to one single acceptance that this happens mostly, or rather, definitely because of communication. So how is leadership and communication related? Let us understand through this definition. It says that the language of leadership comes from the art of communication. We are all communicators, but how effective are we? That effectiveness is what leads us to being a leader or to becoming a leader. Now, when leadership is being discussed, we have different personas across the world, yesteryears, decades ago, millennia ago, even today, the contemporary, each one having their own set of beliefs and how they influence the world. And to understand this, let us reminisce a few persona. Now, these people come from different backgrounds, but yet they have made a difference, whether for the better or not for the better. Let us understand, observing the first personality. I'm sure you guessed the world recognizes even today. The newborn also will recognize because of the dictatorship that he has carried. And it is ironical that somebody who is strict, we try to, correlate saying, why are you acting a Hitler? Poor Hitler, he must be toiling in his grave that, he must have had a different intention. But the world across has understood him this way. So his communication has made him a leader, whether for the good or not for the good. We have another persona coming up from a different fraternity, the music world or the world of music. How beautifully he has carved a niche for himself for that instrument, Shehnai, in the history of India, where India proudly boasts that, yes, we can take our music across the globe and, make it a permanent existence. He did work towards it. He did communicate to the world, and he has become a leader to people of his fraternity and in the most magnificent way. We have another persona to relate to, the spiritual religion, or whatever you call it. He is a leader by himself. At one point of time, he was in exile, but at another point of time, he fought for certain principles, certain virtues, and his communication also made him a leader. So different communication genres, but the quality is the same. They had the ability to influence people, and that is how they are leaders and executed leadership through communication. Now, to acquire leadership, there is something called an ABC. What is that these leaders possessed that, that the world around reckons, acknowledges them, respects them as people of their own style? The first thing is they have been or they are approachable. And if you're not approachable, I don't think you are a leader by yourself. Then you are consistent. When consistency rules you, you are in for leadership. Otherwise, you become a non-leader, and that doesn't define you at all. A creative thought and innovation makes them a leader apart, and that becomes another leadership definition. If it was not for competency, I don't think they would have stood on the pedestal and had the world with them and learn from them and acquire whatever the qualities. They are strong decision makers. The decisiveness is so pivotal because the entire world is looking up to them as a leader, and that communication should be highly decisive. They have to have an intelligence measure, otherwise people will take them for a ride. When they can avoid that, being taken for a ride, they truly become a communicative leader. And of course, being approachable, they are always a people's person. When you have the people skills, your leadership is well defined, your communication has a leadership quality. And the most important, there is trust placed in them that yes, this leader is going to bring some reformation in our lives, and their communication endorses the belief of people who follow them. So let's have the ABCs of this leadership, and each one become a leader by himself or herself. Now we have a great definition that leaders do not do different things. It's that they just do things differently and they communicate differently. The same ideology, but in a different manner. Let's take the example of two great people the world really reminisces. I'm sure he's a much sought after persona. Charlie Chaplin, who hid tears behind his, the rain and says, it's always that life is a happy platform and you never regret. Be happy with what you have. And he also defines power, saying that that is not something that makes you a leader. It is love enough that makes you a leader. So this is a different angle, a dimension to the entire leadership. Another great persona India can boast of, coming from elsewhere. She established her roots in India and how she had really taken the world with her peace and other innate qualities. Today, peace and Mother Teresa, they are symbolic of each other. Their communication has been as much as ours, but it is that it had a different aspect and a perspective. That is what leadership is acquired and being made all about. Now, what is the veracity, the truth of the communication? There are some things that have to be strongly willed. One, from I cannot do it to I can do it. That automatically makes you a different persona moving towards leadership. Believe in self. Belief, carry that. Yes, I am what I am. Then you are making way to becoming a leader. Next, that is being a good listener. More than a speaker, a good listener is a leader with a leadership quality, and the communication becomes effective. Be empathetic, be sympathetic, be a people's person. That is where the truth of your communication comes out, defining you as a leader. And three more attributes that go hand in hand: being concise, Nobody wants to listen to you more than what is required. Be complete. That means randomly don't cut away yourself. Be clear. That is, the common person should understand your communication. That is where your leadership quality begins. This is the truth of our communication. Now, another dimension, the 4 T's of communication. To make you a great leader and execute leadership. What is the first T? You need to have a timing. Can I afford to disturb somebody across the globe because it's day for me? Can I disturb that person when it is nightfall for them? I don't think so. In this aspect, I'm not calling leadership upon myself. I need to respect the timing and then communicate and lead my way. I need to have a tone where I can say, yes, dear all, let us work together. Not a turn, you do this, you do that. Never have that tone. So that tone, the second T, is very important. We have another T, which is nothing but a technique of how you communicate. Start with your own words. Be authentic, be true. Don't take somebody's words and carry on the conversation. Don't blame them. Don't say this, which is not yours. So have the technique of having your own words as your conversation. And finally, the last T, the trust and the truth in your conversation. That makes you a leader. That leads you to leadership. Otherwise, you become non-authentic and you lose out on your leadership quality because of that non-authentic communication. So one final word from me to all of you. We believe true leaders, they are born, they are not made. How many of you agree to it? Can I have a yes in the chat box? I'm sure this is a very strong belief that goes with most of the mankind, most of society, and we are all leaders in our own way. All that we can do is sharpen the skill in the right direction at the correct time, at the correct place, to the correct person. That becomes effective communication, and that communication defines you as a leader, giving you the acquisition of a leadership. So with this, leadership through communication, I offer my time to all of you through an email. You could connect with me anytime, any day regarding communication or any nuance about communication, because I believe language is the tool to empowerment. With this, I take leave. This is Sujata Balaji from Hyderabad. Thank you one and all, and thank you, Sonia, for this excellent facilitation.
Thank you very much, Sujata ji. If you found value in this, let's type 10x in the chat box. I want to see maximum audience engagement. Please type 10x in the chat box. And you can also ask Sujata ji some questions. You can share some key takeaways that you had from her keynote. And also, I have shared her email in the chat box. You can connect with her through an email. And yes, thank you, Sujata ji, for redefining ABC for us and telling us the true definition of leadership. Thank you. Do we have any questions in the audience? Anybody could share like 2-3 key takeaways from her presentation? That would be great. Sapna ji says, love the new ABC, loving the summit so far. All right, great. The T's were great. Definitely they were. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we are all born as leaders. Truly, truly, we are all right. So are you guys excited? How are you liking the summit so far? Let me know in the chat box. And meanwhile, I'll be moving on to our next presentation. And I'd like to present about 4 steps to building resilience in the face of adversity. I'd like to call upon Anjali Kursahani, who is the author, happiness coach, and energy healer. She's the author of books Empower Your Superpowers, Something in My Heart, and co-author and compiler of the international book called Caterpillar to Butterfly. She helps you take the stress out of your life and fill it with unconditional love. She's impacted around 1697 plus lives. She's facilitated over 50 plus online and offline sessions for multiple MNCs on leadership and team building. She's international coaching. She's a part of ICF, approved innermost shift coach, Reiki healer, counseling psychologist, oracle reader, and an animal communicator. Wow. She's also an instructional designer. She's made over 100 courses for Fortune 500 companies. She's an ex-NIIT, ex-Mindbox. She reads 20 pages daily from the last 360 days. She loves writing, traveling, creating videos and animals. And she has a mission to impact and serve 1 million lives by 2030. Wow, that's inspirational. And over to you, Anjali.
Thank you so much, Sonia. Hello and welcome everybody to the International Summit. I am very excited. I think all the presentations till now have been mind-blowing, and I hope to blow your mind again with this fun presentation that I'm about to give. So if you can see my screen, just give me a big thumbs up in the chat box and let me know if you are able to see my screen. Or show me thumbs up. I can see everybody. So show me thumbs up if you can see the screen. All right, wonderful. So we are learning 4 steps of building resilience in the face of adversity. That means you get a chance to take your power back from any situation. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll give you a few situations right now and tell me what would your reaction be. Just give it a minute and think, how will you react if you are put in such situation? Okay. Number 1 situation. A supply manager calls and says, we are switching suppliers starting next month. I am afraid your company no longer fits. What would you feel? Give me the chat box. What emotions will come in your body when you know a high paying supplier is going away? Will you feel disappointed? Will you be angry? Will you feel that, oh, I don't know what this person is thinking? Tell me in the chat box your emotions. Ashwini says, how can you do this to me? Umama says, that's a loss. Raki says, disappointed. Shreya says, confused. And she is sad, disappointed. Wonderful. Okay. So you know how these emotions will trigger, right? Situation number 2. 3 colleagues of who joined the organization around the same time as you did were up for promotions, but you were not. I am pretty sure most of us have gone through sometime that this has happened, when your seniors appreciate somebody else when you have put in a lot of effort, or promote people who are from your team but not you. How does that make you feel? Depressed, demotivated, betrayed, angry, gussa, heartbreak, frustrated, disappointment. So do you realize how common these situations are and how common these emotions also are? How easy it is for us to put ourselves in these situations and realize that, okay, I'll be very disappointed if somebody else is getting promoted, right? Next, and the last situation for today, your team loses another good person in the 3rd round of layoffs. Weak markets or not, you still have to work on the numbers. But now you have to work with the 2 most uncooperative people in your team. How will you feel? We've always seen the good people leaving fast in our organizations. The people we enjoy the most with, the people we like talking about, they leave first. And the people who we are okay with, have okay relationship, they stay. So what emotions does that trigger? Disappointed, angry, sad, luck. Okay, wonderful. So while you are identifying these figures, I took a guess when I was making this presentation that what would you say? And well, you'd either feel angry, disappointed, you'll either rant, you will feel dejected or victimized, or you'll just resign to the situation and deny the entire reality of it. This is exactly what happens when we are stuck with an adversity, with a change that we are not prepared for. Sometimes, however, people also feel a little excitement that, you know what, I will do good in this and I will learn something new out of this. I will bring a skill into this. But you will agree that we go through a different and 100 of emotional states while we are trying to figure things out. What we need to identify is how to make that negative situation into a productive one, right? How we can change and transform that situation into something that we completely enjoy and something that becomes an opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, psychological resilience is the capacity to respond quickly and constructively to crisis. It's a solution-oriented mind. Have you ever realized all the survival stories, all the people who survive big traumatic experiences are the most resilient people. You might have often heard people saying the fittest survive, right? The rule of the jungle is whoever is the fittest survive. But do you think with fitness, they also have a lot of resilience to find solutions of the problems? How many of you agree that all the survival stories that you have heard, maybe the 9/11, the hurricane, the Katrina hurricane, the COVID-19, whatever pandemic, whatever big problems you've heard that happen in the environment, a lot of survival stories have resilient people. If you have, give me yes in the chat box. Have all of those been very resilient, very calm, and they have always worked in finding a solution? Thank you, Vinisha. Thank you, Dr. Nushi. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Sachin, Suraj, Shreya, Amit. Thank you so much. Now, while we know we all are aware that, when a situation arises, we need to be resilient, but it is something that does not happen. It is something that is not our reflective thinking, right? So this is what I am going to help you change right now. What we'll see ahead is how you can make this shift and how things can actually work in your favor. Okay. So it's just a mindset shift as to how you respond to any situation. You can respond by having a big emotional breakdown. You can respond by being overwhelmed. You can respond by finding solution. You can respond by being productive. It's a conscious choice that we as individuals make. How many of you have heard about resilience regime? Let me know in the chat box. If you have heard, give me a Y. If you have not heard, give me an N. Have you heard about resilience regime? Sapna says N, Vinisha says yes, Shreya says N, Vivo says N, Suraj says N, Dr. Nuchi says yes. Okay, so with the crowd that has responded, I realized that almost 80% have not heard of this. Now, my friends, you will be shocked of how amazing this resilience regime actually is. It's just a series of pointed questions that help you reframe the negative event that is happening in your life. We use 3 tools in this. One is to specify, visualize, and collaborate. Now I'll explain further how we'll do this. Whenever any situation that you do not like, that is change that you feel shouldn't have happened, comes in your life, the number one thing we try to do is control it. Because whatever is not in our control is what we do not appreciate. We as human beings have the tendency to control all the feelings, all the emotions, all the challenges, all the changes. How many of you are parents here? You would always want to control how your kid behaves, where he goes, how he goes, so that he is safe or he is not safe, right? You'll always try to control that. If you're going to a swimming pool, you should never hit the deep end. You should always be safe, right? As humans, we always try to control. But you need to identify when a crisis hits. Do you look on how you can improve the situation, or do you focus on the factors that caused it for the first place? Do you look for reasons or do you look for solutions? Now understand, this is a conscious change that we need to do. So I'd recommend you to take screenshot of the next screen. When you want to control things, you first need to specify what aspects of this situation can I directly influence to change course of this adverse, this problematic event that has happened with me. Number 2, you visualize. What would your manager or somebody that you appreciate a lot will do in this situation? For example, if you like Shah Rukh Khan, just visualize that in this situation, what will Shah Rukh Khan do? For example, if I'm giving a presentation right now and I'm a little underconfident, I can imagine, okay, how will Shah Rukh Khan do this? And I'll come with a lot of attitude the way Shah Rukh Khan does, right? The next is collaboration. Understand that you individually cannot control everything. You always need people around. We are social beings, we are social animals, and we need people around us. So you need to identify who in your team can actually help you and what is the best way to engage those people. Your team has to be your biggest benefit. Your team has to work for you, not against you. The second step here is the impact. Now, can you sidestep the temptation to find the origin of the problem? in yourself or others and focus on identifying what is the positive effect. Are you trying to blame things on a person or on yourself? Or are you trying to identify what positive can come out of this situation? Right? When you're identifying impact, again, take the screenshot of the next slide or write it down because it will help. Question yourself, specify, how can I set up to make the most immediate positive impact in this situation? If I have to give an unplanned presentation, what is something that I can do? I can calm myself down. I can relax. I can take a deep breath. I can do a deep meditation that will help me just for 2 minutes also. Visualize what positive effect might my efforts have on people or on the work around me. Number 3, collaborate. How can I mobilize the efforts of those who are hanging back with me? Again, always take people with you. Collaboration wins over competition, always. The third thing that comes into place is the breadth, the depth of the situation. So again, do you assume that the underlying cause of this crisis is specific and can be contained? Or do you worry that it might cast a long shadow overall aspect of your life? Any problem that we go through, anything that happens in our life will not matter in 5 years from now, right? I think all of us have heard the 5-year logic. Let me know in the chat box if you've heard the 5-year. Give me a 5 if you have. Give me a 5 if you have. Sonia says 5. Wonderful. 5 things will not, it will not work after 5 years. It's okay. You won't remember this after 5, right? Very common things that we hear. Now understand that even if you've heard this, while you are inside a crisis, you will never imagine this. You will never question yourself कि हाँ 5 साल में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. You'll rather think, I am in the situation right now. I don't care about the 5 years. I care about the now. So to solve that, I have these questions for you. Number 1, specify how can you reduce the potential downside of this problem? चाहे वो सिर्फ 10% हो. Or how can you maximize the upside even by 10% or even by 1%, I would say. But you need to start thinking in those manners. Visualize the strength and resources that your team has when they address this event. And collaborate. Take help with their strengths. Take help with what they know, because they are also people with a lot of experiences that are coming in your life, right? So how can you collaborate and transform the situation into an opportunity? The last one, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth one is the duration. How long do you believe the crisis and its repercussions will last? And let me tell you, if you're working in a corporate organization, the repercussions is only till the next budgeting. The repercussions is only till the next time or a next project that comes in. That's it. The repercussions are not after that. The repercussions leave after this, right? How many of you worked in a corporate and have realized that all the problems, all the crisis that happens at workplace is only either till the next date or just till the deadline or once you're shifted to a new project? Have you realized this? Give me a Y in the chat box if you've seen this. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Sapna. Thank you, Mama. And how often, corporates make a very big deal of a small problem, right? So in that situation, here is something that you need to identify. What do I want my life to look like on the other side of adversity? When this problem is gone, how is my life looking? Specify. What can I do in the next few minutes or hours to move in that direction? And collaborate with your team. That what processes can you develop together to see the other side of the hardship? Now, once you know all of this, understand that resilience regime is not long-term fitness, is a long-term fitness plan and not a crash diet. We are not trying that you lose 50 kgs of fat in 5 days or in 10 days. We are trying that you develop a healthy regime for yourself and you cautiously make a choice to become a resilient person. If you have enjoyed this till now, give me AG in the chat box because I have something very important to share and I'll close it in 1 minute. Give me an AG. Perfect. Thank you so much, Sachin, Vinisha, Dr. Nushi, Sonia. Thank you so much. If you loved it, I am doing a challenge of 100 reels in 50 days on my Instagram. You can scan the QR code or use my link tree or just search Happiness Coach Anjali, write happiness and you'll find me. I am doing 100 reels in 50 days. So I am challenging the change and I am challenging the algorithm all in, right? And if you want to be a part of this journey with me, feel free to follow back, because if you like this presentation, you'll definitely love what's coming on. And of course, with every speaker, I also give you a free bonus on quizzing how much do you love yourself. The QR code is on the screen. You can scan it, or the link would be given by Sonia just in a minute. And that way you can get a score of how much you love yourself. And in case you need me, you'll find the steps over there. I hope you had a wonderful time. In case you have questions, I'm always up for them.
Wow, if you found this keynote fantastic, type 5 in the chat box, drop a 5 in the chat box now if this was fantastic. Great, great. So if you have any questions, queries, you'd like to ask Anjali, you can ask a question in the chat box too. And if you have any keynotes, key takeaways, what you'd like to implement, you can also share that in the chat box. We'd really like to know what is your one key takeaway from this fantastic presentation. And I've also shared Anjali's Linktree link. You can connect with her and you can also be a part of her real journey that she is on to right now. Resilience is a long-term goal. Absolutely, resilience regime. Lovely. Collaboration over competition will be my key takeaway, Shreya says. Lovely. Resilience is possible, Dr. Nishida. Thank you. Thank you for these lovely key takeaways. Type AG in the chat box for Anjali Gursahani. And with that, I'd like to move on with the 5th keynote. And yeah, here it is. We'd be talking about harnessing professional communication with none other than our Sapna Narayan, who is a professional communication coach. She's an entrepreneur, author. She's an entrepreneur running 2 businesses. She's the founder of Ethereal Enterprises. She's a certified coach by TLC, teaches our latest community that you're a part of right now. She's running a networking community for coaches, the Coach Circle. She's also an author of the books With English Be Distinguished, Cracking Job Interviews, and she's also co-authored an international anthology, Caterpillar to Butterfly. She's created internationally licensed courses for UNESCO, UNESCO's initiative OE4BW. She's helped around 2,000 plus students, 500 plus professionals and business owners in developing personal communication and command over English to have an impact and be impressive across different countries. She has a major social media presence on YouTube, Instagram, Clubhouse, LinkedIn, and you can follow her on all those platforms. She's very active. I have seen that. She listens to audiobooks. She's done masters in Kathak dance, anchor, and ride bikes. So over to you, Sapnaji, with this power-packed bio. Thank you very much. Type SN in the chat box if you all are excited. And yes, Sapnaji, over to you.
Thank you, Sonia, for this wonderful introduction that you have given of mine. Oh, I think I'm in love with myself with all this self-love and meditation happening. Totally in love with myself. But now is the time to do some bit of communication. Yes, you heard right. This is your communication coach, professional communication coach, Sapna Narayan. Can you see my screen? Yes, you can. Now I'll just get into the slideshow mode. And let's begin. So happy to be here as part of this summit. I loved to be invited here and love being here at the same time. Now, I have heard so many wonderful presentations, a lot of takeaways, and I really hope that I can add my little bit to your Sunday today and to your lives. Coming on to the harnessing professional communication. I understand that all of us are professionals here, or even if we are not professionals, we are wannabe professionals. We want to be professionals. We are probably students now. Let's go further and just discuss and know what is professional communication before we talk about harnessing it. So professional communication, very simple, verbal communication, just what I'm doing for you and with you. Non-verbal communication, which I can see what you're doing, with some cameras off, I know that is non-verbal communication. And with people busy here and there, I can see, okay, so that is non-verbal communication. Written communication, this is what you're going to do in the chat box. You've been doing it. Visual communication, the PPTs and everything else that you can actually see. Digital communication, our phones. Interpersonal communication, the love that we share with each other. That is the interpersonal communication that we have. Now, what we understand out of here is, of all the life skills, communication is probably the most empowering one. I wish I had said this, but Brett Morris, the actor, he actually said it, and that is why it has got more weightage than anybody else thinks so. So we need to harness the potential of our professional communication, whatever we do. Let me give you 7 ways to harness our professional communication. First, we need to understand the crucial aspect of professional life. It is a crucial aspect, professional communication, professional life. And why is it so crucial? Because it helps us build relationship, establish trust, and just get things done. We need to get things done in our professional life more than anywhere else. That's where the mullah is going to come. If you get things done, you get bonuses, you get promotions, accolades, certification, awards, everything else comes. So working on your communication is one of the best things that you can do, because it helps manage misunderstanding, which always happens everywhere. You do have missed deadlines, don't you? And these missed deadlines, you really need to talk it out with your team. And then we have frustration. You need somebody to really put the hand around your shoulder and give us, some solace. And that is also part of professional life. Now, in the chat box, I would want to know how many of you have come across a communication that you've done in your professional life which has really fallen flat. It's gone in the wrong direction. Let's see in the chat box. Oh, me, such a big me from Sachindaya. Anushi, yes. So the moment we get into our professional life, we have this issue. We have gone wrong, and then we've realized, why ever did I do this? Why did I even, not think it through? So what we need to do is, what happened? All right. Yeah. We need to work not only on our communication, but we need to work on the delivery of our communication. So what are the essentials for the delivery? We need to have a clear, concise, and confident and structured communication so that it goes across well, it is well understood. Have you ever looked into a recipe book? How many of you have looked into a recipe book and cooked? Just type C in the chat box. Have you looked into a recipe book and cooked? So what happens there? Yeah, a lot of us have done that. YouTube these days, very right, Rakhi. So what happens there? You have been given very clear instructions, and you have, you get that picture, see, beautiful picture of the food, how it should look like eventually. Every bit is told, how many spoons, teaspoons, cups that you need to take, how and when you need to scene for spouse. Okay, Ashwini, try doing it someday. And you're given very, very clear instructions. And then your dish comes out just the way it is. And just in case, in the recipe, if they don't ask you to light the burner, I can imagine what your food is going to look like, because that one little bit of instruction was not given. That is where delivery comes into play. Now, so what do we need to, So the art of communication is actually the language of leadership. And this is said by James Humes. We have to be clear, concise, confident, and structured. You know, Steve Jobs was an amazing orator. And when he had to launch iPhone, we all know iPhone so well and such a successful product. iPhone was launched in 2007. And this guy, Steve Jobs, worked for months on his presentation on how he's going to put iPhone to the world and see where it is now. Each one of us aspires to have an iPhone in our hand. So that is what the communication, the delivery does to you. The art of listening. When you don't listen and you don't look into, you can't look into the detailing part. As a professional, you really need to delve and dive into active listening. What does that mean? It means being attentive, give respect, and giving the valuable, precious time to someone. And what does it do in your professional life? It helps you to have a positive environment, better collaboration, and just to pick up details. You pick up details. And when you realize, when you listen to somebody say, okay, my family is having issues, come the next day and ask, how is your family doing? That's going to take your relationship to the next level, and that person is going to go an extra mile for you. How many of us have actually had people going an extra mile for us just because we've been nice to them? We've sat and heard them through. Has this happened to any of you before? Of somebody doing something more and you were like, wow, did I really deserve it? Please type me in the chat box. Yes. Don't you feel beautiful? Don't you feel lovely within yourself when this happens? And this happens because you have given that precious time to that person. And this is what we want. Motivated employees, motivated team, motivated teammates, right? How many of us would want a motivated team with us doing things even before we are asking them to do? All of us. You don't even need to write in the chat box for this. So this is something which talks about connection. Great communication begins with huge connection. We all know Oprah Winfrey. This is what she said, and you know the empire she's built by just listening and talking to people on her show. Then comes tailoring your audience. Okay, you just can't, put the square peg in a round hole or a round peg in a square hole. It takes so much effort. You can just see in that picture. So why would you even want to do that? Just tailor whatever you need to say and use the same style which that person understands best in the language that they understand best. And remember, less is more. Please do not push things too much, like that guy is doing, pushing and pushing and pushing, and focus on the essential message only. That would be best because you don't confuse people at all. And it helps in conveying your message effectively and achieve our goals very, very effectively. And communication is your ticket to success. So guys, you do want to be successful. And if you pay attention and learn to do it effectively, Theo Gold said this, you are going to be miles ahead of people who are more talented than you. Why? Just because you are you're better with your communication, your professional communication. Have you heard people say, or have you ever said something like this? When we have been in our corporate life, somebody else has got the promotion. We are like, boss ka na, he's done personal things for the boss. He's just been around the boss, brought tea and, taken him for dinner, shared a cigarette and something. And that is why he's got promotion. And just because I don't drink and I don't smoke, I haven't got this promotion. Have you ever thought of this? Buttered him, correct, Vinisha. That's the word. I should have used that word. Buttered him and just gone way ahead, right? So, okay, so I get the message from Sonia. So you need to also personalize your communication by not only typing, we have people sitting in the same room, in same house and sending messages on WhatsApp to each other. And this also happens in the office. Just walk out and talk to people, because as we all know, it builds relationship, it resolves conflict, and it has a feel-good factor to actually talk to people face to face. And let me come to not last, but second last point, go beyond spoken words. Your body language, your facial expression and gestures take you a long, long, long way ahead. You can say the best of things with the worst of body language and not get anywhere. It helps convey additional message, builds relationship, shows enthusiasm, confidence, and makes you engaging and persuasive. Why? Because you're using your hands. We've all seen all these amazing speakers do use all the gestures and expressions. Soft skills get little respect, but you can make or break your career. Last but not the least, it's the key to building your relationship, you know. You not only transmit information, but you build relationship and you open cars, you open doors just with that amazing relationship that you've built, communication that you have induced with the people around. Your work and your team really goes way ahead of everyone else. You become a star. It establishes trust, builds rapport and positive work environment. Because we all want to do all of this, and we know communication, a human connection, is key to personal and career success, I feel that you should be given a real amazing gift for, you know, listening to me and being this amazing patient audience with me. And here is a gift for you for being this amazing audience. What's this gift? Free courses. 4 free courses for you guys. Yes, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. You scan this QR code, you will get free courses on my website. Go there, and then you can look into the other paid ones also if you like. You can go ahead, but make sure that you make use of these communication courses, free courses, which are on leadership, on spoken English, and lot more. And with this, I end my presentation and would be happy to take any questions that you might have for me. And I did take a few minutes extra. My apologies, my timer just went. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sapna ji. If that was giving you 10x in communication, type 10x in the chat box or drop a bomb, because that was definitely a value bomb of free courses. Thank you so much, Sapna ji. And if you have any questions for Sapna ji, please type in the chat box so she can answer it. Also, I'd like to request members who joined now or later in between, please type where are you from, your name, your city, your profession. We'd really like to know that who all do we have here with us today. And do we have any questions, any key takeaways from Sapna ji? Yes, it is definitely 10x. Samir says 10x.
What was that?
Okay, Sachin is from Delhi. Fantastic perspectives. Rakhi is an executive coach from Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us, Sachin, Samir, and Rakhi today. What is that one key takeaway that you have from Sapna ji's presentation? Did she boost up your communication skills today? Okay, we have Shreya.
Did you go north to south or south to north? SM.
Great. Everybody's going south to north so far. Lovely. We have Priya from Bangalore. Welcome, Priya. Madhurima says, hi on energy. So I will be sharing Sapna ji's sleek bio in the chat box. You can connect with her and you can also get her free courses through that. All right. And with this, I'd like to call upon a 5 minutes breather. And I'll also release a poll and let's see who all were attentive in in this presentation, in this summit with us? Let's see. You all can take a 5 minutes breather and answer this meanwhile. And we have a break.
I think there's a question, Sonia.
Yeah,
from
you can
Manjeet
ask
Deshpande.
questions. We are having a break and you can answer them in the chat box as well.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you can answer it like this also. Till then, we have 4 minutes to our next All right, everybody, I hope we have everybody back with us. I'll just give 2 minutes for everybody to get back. And let me know if you're receiving 10x value from the summit. How is it going? Let us know in the chat box. I hope you all are enjoying it, loving it, and learning a lot from this. We have a lot of things awaiting for you all towards the end of the summit. So please hold on, stay tuned, and yeah. Let us know how is it going in the chat box. And meanwhile, if you are excited to learn 5 ways to unleash a successful you, then you can type SS in the chat box. I am loving the energy too, but I would love it if you all can turn your videos on, because that leaves room for maximum interaction. Right. You can leave previous questions also for the speakers who have already given their keynotes. So thank you, Mr. Ashwini. All right, so shall we begin our keynote? And I would like to invite the keynote speaker number 6, Mr. Samir Sheikh. He is our success and growth mindset coach. He's a business storyteller. He's a published author, certified NLP, EFT, TFT, and CBT master practitioner. And he's a strategic life coach. And he's done diploma in child psychology. Sorry about that. He has 25 plus years of corporate sales and marketing experience. That is generating approximately $25 million worth of businesses, dealing with 3,000 plus clients. He's been the head of marketing in one of the leading collaborative educational institutes, and that's wow, amazing. He also has been conducting corporate training, counseling, therapy, emotion and trauma healing, soft skills, and career and life coaching globally. He's trained more than 1,400 plus executives and professionals, coaches, aspirants, and students in positive growth mindset, professional skills, and storytelling, summing up to more than 1,450 hours of training and coaching. Amazing. He's also been a secretary of a Mumbai-based human rights and anti-corruption organization. In his leisure time, he watches 1 movie a day. He reads 20 pages in a day. He writes 200 words in a day. He's an adventurer, photographer, and animal lover. Wow, Mr. Samir, this tells us that success does not have to be just working hard in your room, but you can also enjoy while being a successful leader. This is an impressive bio. Please type clap, clap, clap in the chat box. And if you're excited to unleash successful you, type SSS in the chat box. And over to you, Mr. Samir. You are on mute, Mr. Samir.
I could not see the tab. I just saw the tab and I just... So thank you so much, Sonia, for that introduction. And I'm loving this summit. I hope you all are loving too, like such good learnings and profound, perspectives which are coming through. And I hope I keep the momentum right now by my presentation, which I'm about to give you. It's a very simple presentation, which I'm going to give you, but it's a very important question, which we all ask. So I'm going to ask you this question. Before that, let us just get aligned. We went for a break. So I just want you all to raise your hands up like this. Come on. Okay, cool. I want you to now breathe in. And now breathe out. Again, breathe in. And now breathe out. I want to shake your hands. Come on, shake your hands. Okay, now I want you to just stretch yourself. Yeah. Stretch it up, sitting for such a long time. Yeah. Bend on the right side. Okay. Oh, bend on the left side again. Okay. That's cool. That's it. I will tell you about this later. Why I made you do this. I'll tell you about this later. So my first question is, how many of y'all want to be successful Come on, let me hear that. How many of you all want to be successful? I want to hear a yes or a me. Me is also okay. Come on, go ahead. Okay, I see me. I say yeses. Wow, good, good. Yeah, and we all want to be successful. But I want to ask you, what is success? Tell me if you really know it. Tell me if you really know it. What is success? Happiness? Mr. Ashwini says, okay. Happiness, wow, okay. Able to give, amazing. Growth in every area, power, goals achieved, achievement, achieving your goals. Okay, that's good, that's good. So I'm just going to be, that's the really good perspectives coming in, but I'll just go beyond. Now, success is actually, achieving the desired results which we have decided on. What we desired, like, of course, you call it goals, but I call it desire. Because if you desire something and you achieve it, that automatically becomes success. Now, how do we unleash it? Let's start it. The first step, which you all said, was to set clear goals. Now, if I give you a dart or a bow and arrow without a target, without a bullseye, what's the use of it? Where are you going to be throwing that dart or, aiming for that bow and arrow? So first thing you need to do is set clear goals. Set your goals very clearly. And for that, you need to be smart. You all are smart, of course, but I just want you to be smart in this way. Be specific in what you want to achieve, your goal, and make it measurable. Like if I want to be, earning money, I can't just say I want to earn money. I have to make it measurable. So I'll say around, 20 lakhs in 1 year or 20 million in my entire lifetime. That's measurable. And then I have to make it achievable. That is it achievable? Is it realistic? Can I do this? If I give a figure of $100 billion in 1 year, is it achievable? I have to ask myself that. Secondly, it should be relevant and I should be responsible for it. Someone has to be responsible for it. Like if you ask me, my wife takes the responsibility of cooking the food. So she cooks the food because she's taking the responsibility. Similarly, you have to take the responsibility of your goals. Can you achieve it and can you be responsible enough to achieve that goal? And lastly, make it time bound. You have to have a time, stipulated altogether. You have to say that it's going to be achieved in 1 year, it's going to be achieved in 5 years, in 10 years. Do that and have two kinds of goals, short-term goals and long-term goals. You can't just have long-term goals. You need to have short-term goals. And once you do that, please make a note of it, either in your laptop, make a chart, or have a diary, wherever you want to do it, please make a note of it. And once you've done that, set reminders for yourself. Please do that. And the best way, our Guru Murli from TLC, he has, taught us what he does. He whenever we are setting up some goals, what he makes us do in the session, he tells us to that time itself, that moment itself, post it on social media, on the Facebook or Instagram, so that you make it, you announce it, and then you are bound to do it. So when you make goals, try to announce it in public. That will give you, a perspective, that will give you a motivation to go through, because everyone is going to ask you, okay, you want to write that book, or you were going to do that training. Have you completed it? So you have that question and accountability for you, and then you will be actually working to achieve your goals. So reminders are very important. Next thing is about having a growth mindset. Now we all are going through lifts, right? When we go in a building, like we have to go to a tower. So we actually go and we are actually pressing that button and we get in that lift. And we are trying to go up. We have that mindset that this lift is going to be taking me up. It's making me grow up, going to make me go on that floor. So we are taking that mindset while going through a lift. And with that example, with that analogy, I want to understand that you have to believe in your abilities and intelligence. If you don't do that, you will not be having any growth mindset which you want to, or any growth, because if you don't have the mindset, you will not be able to go ahead in your life. So you have to firstly believe that you are able, you can make it, do it, you can do it. And apart from that, you have the intelligence which is required to do that stuff to make you grow progressively. And with that, you need to learn new things, because without learning, there's no growth. You can't grow. You have to keep on learning every single day. You have to progress on yourself. You have to be better than yesterday you. You cannot be the same which you were yesterday. You have to become the better you today. Then you need to take up challenges. Without risk, nothing is going to come your way. Without risk, there's no growth. So please take up the challenges coming on your way and you will get this growth mindset. Apart from that, embrace your failures. You must have heard so many, incidents of lift, not functioning or just stopping, but you still, when you go to the towers, you want to reach up to the floors, you still take that lift because you go beyond the failures. You say, okay, I have failed. No problem. Things have failed. Things can succeed. Things can grow. And I have to take up this lift again. So you have to embrace your failures because failures are actually your mini successes because you've tried. The absolute failure is not trying. That is absolute failure. So if you're trying, it's a success. So be happy about that. And in case you're having difficulties doing it on your own, consider life coaching, consider counseling, consider therapy, because there are a lot of clutters which have, hold on our mindset, our mind. And that's the reason we're not able to get this growth mindset. So please, if you want to seek help, please seek help, go in for life coaching, counseling, therapy, and you will develop this growth mindset, which is required for you to grow and be successful. And next is taking actions. Like if I give you your favorite food in front of you, it's kept over there, and you're just sitting out there saying, oh, this is just going to fly and go in my mouth. No, it will not. You have to actually go, grab that morsel and then put it in your mouth. And that's how you're going to be eating the food. So you need to take actions. And how do you do that? First of all, start with small steps. We cannot just jump to the top floors. We cannot. We need to take that small steps to go up. So start with small steps, baby steps. That's just how we learned walking. We started with just standing up and just trying to, keep our legs in a proper manner. And then we started learning to walk. Similarly, in your life, you have to be taking small steps, like small actions to go further in life and be successful. And then when you take these small steps, you are going to be, building the momentum slowly and slowly. So you will get rid of your, procrastination. You will get rid of your lack of confidence, low self-esteem. You have to start doing it somewhere and you will be building that momentum to reach to that success which you want to. And success will definitely come closer, as I just mentioned above. The next part is building a support system. I'm sure you all must have traveled by, plane, or train, or a taxi. Did you? Just say yes if you have. Did you all travel? No yeses? Everyone is sleeping? Okay, yes. So, when you actually are taking this transportation, you're going in a plane, you're going in a car, or you're going in a taxi, or a bus, or a ship, you actually are trusting the support system. You're trusting the pilot. You're trusting the taxi driver, the train motorman. You're trusting them. So if you feel that you are self-made or I am self-made or anyone in this world is self-made, it is not true. We all are requiring a support system. Maybe it is, in front of us or not in front of us. Maybe it's just hidden, concealed. But we all require the support system. And that's the reason you should not hush away or feel weak if you require a support system. You please have to go ahead and build this support system. And how do you do that? You have to first start understanding relationships, start identifying a family, start identifying your best friends, start identifying your best colleagues who are there sitting and wanting you to grow, wanting you to succeed. Identify them and build the support system which you need for your success. Next is have quality surroundings. See, you must have gone through so many people in your life, and when they come across, they create negativity and they make you feel down and bad about yourself and always criticizing you. Stay away. Just stay away. Surround yourself with quality surroundings. And that's what we do in our community. We are surrounded by these masterminds and we actually get motivated. We get ourselves on track. In case you're feeling down, this weekly meetings just make us go up, get us motivated. So surround yourself with quality people. Then have like-minded networking. So when you want to be successful in some stream, get aligned with the like-minded people who are, wanting to go towards that destination, towards that goal. And you will find yourself talking and, going towards that goal, that destination which you need to. And lastly, if you want to build a support system, a mentor plays a very important role in that support system, because the mentor is going to be giving you that hand holding which you require to go, further in life. Because you need someone like Sachin Tendulkar. I always give the example to my clients, Sachin Tendulkar, even in his last match, he had a coach. He could not do without a coach. He wanted a coach to tell him Like he used to think I'm perfect, but he always used to say that I am not. I need someone else's perspective to tell me where I'm wrong. So mentors play a very important role in our support system. So do have and think about having a mentor in your life. And lastly, you got to be taking care of yourself. No war has been won without, taking care of that army. You need to take care of that army. You need to have the right food. You need to have everything supporting yourself before you go ahead and, it's like a battlefield. You're into a battlefield. Just like you have a, cover case, you're having a protective screen, you're taking care of your mobile. Why not you? So start, getting enough sleep for yourself. That's the first step. Sleep is very important for you to, refresh yourself and come out of whatever you've gone throughout your day. So get good enough sleep and then get exercising regularly. It could be anything. Yeah, it could just be walking. It could just be doing a simple yoga or just breathing exercises or just the stretching, which we did in the beginning. Just do that. It's very important for you to do that. Then eat healthy diet. In today's world, we are so much into junk food and so much into fast food. Like we keep on having them, just saying, oh, this is just once in a while. But actually, are we having once in a while? You have to ask yourself, because what we eat, we become. Keep that in mind. So please have a healthy diet and a balanced diet. When I'm saying healthy diet does not mean you go out of your way having healthy food excessively. No, I don't mean that. So you need to have a healthy diet, balanced healthy diet, and then practice self-care. Love yourself. Please love yourself, because there's no one else to take care of yourself more than you. Yes, there are people who are caring for you, but you're the most important person to take care of yourself. So please do that and have that self-care and self-love. Now, in the beginning, I made you raise your hands. I made you stretch. I made you, why I made you do that is basically you are already successful. You desired to raise your hands. I told you, and you desired, and you could raise your hands. And I desired to make you inhale and exhale, and you're breathing right now. So you are already successful. So don't think that you're not successful. You are already in a winning situation. It's just the matter of fact that now some things which you've desired have not come your way. They will come your way. Believe in yourself. And most importantly, the last one, the sixth one I have not mentioned, I'm going to tell you right now, is have gratitude. Please practice gratitude. It will lead you to the successful you. Most important step of all these 5 steps is gratitude. With that, I'm going to be taking you further to this bonus which I want to give you. Interesting book. You should. It's an ebook, interesting book. So you can scan the QR code right now and you can download this book just by filling a little bit of information. Download this book. I'm sure you will. It's a very simple, very simply made, a very simple language, which will take you to a journey of understanding the professional growth, your professional growth. So please go ahead. I'm keeping the QR code for like 20 seconds, and then you can just download it. And Sonia has already shared my Linktree link, so you can find me there. You can find my programs out there, and you can even connect with me to a discovery call. It will directly go in for my WhatsApp message when you click it. So please go ahead.
Thank you, Samir, for that power-packed presentation. How many of you felt that you got amazing nuggets of wisdom and success from this presentation? Whoever types 10x, I'd be wanting them to unmute and share your feedback, share your knowledge. If anybody wants to unmute and share it, please type 10x in the chat box so I can go ahead and invite them and speak with our speakers. Okay, so we have Ms. Sapna Narayan. Sapna Narayan, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us, how do you feel about this 10x goal setting keynote?
Of all this, my biggest takeaway was gratitude, the 6th point. And before that, taking care of ourselves. So we do everything, but we stop taking care of ourselves at times and we forget the gratitude part. So that's my huge takeaway. Thank you so much, Samir, for this wonderful, wonderful presentation. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you
Most welcome.
so much, Sapna ji, for that question. Okay, we have Mr. Sachin Daya, and I think he wants to unmute and ask a question or share one key takeaway.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sonia, and amazing, Samir. Thank you so much for that wonderful information. One learning from my end is starting small. I think that's a really powerful way to start your journey. Be it any habit that you want to develop, always start with the small, okay? Because your mind will not ask you or will not let you procrastinate when you start big. So that's a wonderful share. Thank you so much, Samir, and thank you so much, Sonia. Really loving this summit so far.
Thank you. Ms. Sujata is saying, excellent session, Mr. Samir. Wonderful. Always simple language, deep points and deep insight. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your takeaways. And thank you so much. With that, I'd like to move on to our next keynote speaker. Any guesses? Who could it be? All right. So I'll not make you wait so much and move on. So our next speaker is going to talk about team building by retention. Now, team building is very important, and let's hear it from our next speaker. Our next speaker is Mr. JJ Bang. He is a business growth strategist from Malaysia. He's a lawyer, business growth trainer, industrial speaker, entrepreneur, and a karate instructor. Wow, that's multi-talented. He's a founder of Fang and Partners, leading legal service provider in Malacca, Malaysia. He's worked with more than 300 plus business owners on dispute resolution. He's an executive director at BNI Malacca, Malaysia. He has also received a Leadership Excellence Award for Community Leader of the Year 2020 and Successful People in Malaysia 2022. He's aspired to impact 500 lives of business owners by 2026. He was previously a music instructor with more than 100 students, and he's also a third karate black belt, third Dan. So, wow, please type clap, clap, clap. And if you're excited, type 10x, 100, or drop a bomb in the chat box to hear from our next speaker. Over to you, Mr. JJ. Or you can drop a karate kick if you want.
Thank you, Sonia, for the wonderful introduction. Thank you, all the audience here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone from all over the globe. Right, so allow me to take this opportunity to share on this team building by retention. Right, I think team building, as what Sonia has mentioned, is important. Right, I think most of us would like to work together as a team. We want to have a team, and how are we going to retain our talents in the team? And that is the question that we want to know. Right, so looking at this first photo here, is that common? Is that always happening on us? Right, what you see here is we can see a photo of a group of people here, right? Because the boat is sinking, and everyone is busy. Some of them here is busy in draining out the water into the sea, and we can see two more person here on the right hand side. What they are doing is say, "Oh yeah, sure, glad the hole isn't at our end," right? So does that always happen in some of our team, in our workplace? Is that happening? Or have you seen this before? Have you seen this kind of scenario before happening around you? Right? So some of them, they are busy in getting things done, and some of them maybe they're just looking at how things can be done, and not everyone is aligned with the situation or the issue that is happening at that time. Right? So do we call that as a team? Right? Are we having this kind of thing? Yeah, maybe Sachin say we experienced that before. Thank you for the answer. Right? So, but what about this? If let's say we want, if let's say this is not something that we want, and we are looking at another scenario here, right? Looking at this photo here, we have a group of people there. Everyone is doing the same thing, sitting on the same table, attending the same meetings, right? But what happening here is we can see everyone is not looking at each other. Everyone is having a different direction, having some other things in their mind, right? So will we call that as a team? Is that also a team for us here? Do we want this kind of team? I believe most of us here, we don't want to have this kind of team. Yes, thank you, Dr. Anushi, Sachin, right? Ashwani, Sapnati, thank you, Umama. Yes, we don't want this kind of team. But what is that problem? If we don't see this problem here right now, we will not be able to address this problem. Because if we don't see what is the root of this problem, we will not be able to find the solutions. So we have to understand this one very important concept here. Team is not just a bunch of people sitting together, right? We must have a similar direction. That's one very important thing that we have to put on our mind, right? It's not just having a big group of people in the company, in our business, then we think, oh, we have a very good team for us to work on. No, that's not what it is, right? So if we don't address this issue, what will happen is we will start to see people are leaving from our company. They don't stay on. You will see high turnover of staff, high turnover of employees in our company. So regardless what kind of goal we have set for our own business, regardless what kind of directions, what kind of milestone we have set, right, it all starts from team. Because if we don't have a great team, we won't be able to move forward. So before we look at the reasons of the ways of how are we going to address on retention, I think it's important for us to identify what are the reasons of leaving the team, right? Because people, when they come to our company, they work together with us, right? Then they left the company or they choose to leave the company, there must be a reason why. But are we really conscious on the reason why they are leaving? Or are we just notice the reason, but we sweep under the carpet, right? We sweep it under the carpet and we don't want to see it. And we just think, oh, maybe they left is just because it's their problem, it's not our problem, right? Some people may think of that, okay? But for us, you see, we need to know what are the reasons. There may be many reasons there. They may be because they don't feel there's enough of room for them to grow. They feel that money is not enough. They can't sustain their livelihood, right? They feel that the environment is toxic, right? They feel that there's no trust. So what are the reasons? Many reasons, no right or wrong reasons. But the key idea here is I want everyone to understand we must identify the reasons first before we are able to address each and every issue that we have in our company or in our team. So when retention starts, you see, now we move into retention. We need to understand when does the retention work starts. When do we start to work on retention to make our team, to make our employees to stay on with us in the company? We need to find out when. Retention starts when we admit someone into the team. Retention starts when we interview someone before we select them. And retention starts when we do our recruitment. Why? The reason is because are we setting the right context to the person that we are going to admit them into the team, right? If a person comes to you and during your interview session, they tell you because they want to have a career growth, right? So are we really managing that context well, that expectation well at that time? Or if they come here, they told you they want to achieve something short term, and we just giving empty promises, giving them a false expectation that they will achieve this maybe in that particular short period of time, but we know it's not realistic. So are we really managing that expectation and the context well when we are communicating with them at the time? So it resembles on what just now Sapna has just shared with us, right? Communication is very important. So at that time, during the interview session, the admission part of it, are we setting the context well? So when I say about context setting, after the interview session, it also relates to what? It relates to how are we really communicating the expectation during the first day or the first week of them entering to our company or maybe joining our team, right? Are we being we just being sloppy on the thing, or are we just being very eager and in terms of handling the context? If we are sloppy and they are being sloppy, it's not because they are sloppy, it's because we are being sloppy so that they become sloppy. If we are being regal, and they will be regal because we set the context well at the first place. So other than that, there's one tip here is we need to understand every different generation of people that consist in our team. because every generation of them will have different kind of mindsets. Are they considered as baby boomers, or are they the baby busters, or are they the millenniums? Which year they are born, it also affects on how they think, and are we really understanding this where they are from? Because as a part of the important essence of this organizational management, we have to understand the demographics and also the generation of who our teammates are consist, where are they from, and understanding their desires are very, very important. So if we talk about desires, I think this hierarchy of needs from John Maslow is nothing stranger for all of us here. But we know about this thing here. But are we really designing our team or our company really suits well on this hierarchy of needs? Are we only really focusing only on gaining profits on our company? But what about the rest of it? Do our teammates feel there is any psychological needs, or are there any self-fulfillment needs? I think we have to think about this thing. If you have any questions, of course, today I can't be addressing everything to you. Don't worry. You can always have a session with me, and we will talk on how are we going to set our company to fulfill all the needs that we have, that we want to have. And I just want to quickly take this opportunity to share one thing that I think most of us always miss this thing out as the team leader or as a leader in our company or in our team. We always forget about empowerment. Right? Nowadays generation are different. They are no longer in the baby boomers time or maybe the baby busters time. They don't like you to tell them what they should do. They want us to empower them to do something. They want to be trusted. So remember this thing, empowering someone to make a choice, right? Show us our genuine care. Show us the genuine care, right? You really care about their growth. You really want to empower them to do something that you want to achieve. And remember, to entrust is to authorize. When we really want to entrust someone else to do something, make sure we really authorize them of doing that. And to empower them is to letting them to be who they really are. It's not to change or shape them to be who you want them to be. And that's when they don't feel there's a desire or there's their need to grow themselves in the team anymore. So how are we going to do that? Very simple. Ask powerful questions to them, right? Don't talk too much, right? You ask them and learn to ask the questions for them to realize that they in fact actually need to achieve that. See, very simple. I think it's very straightforward. It can be applied to any context. So the points to ponder, I invite all of you here to think of this thing, right? Nowadays, we can no longer work with ourselves alone anymore. Lone Ranger doesn't work anymore. We have to build our team. And retaining talents is always safer than new recruitments. It saves you money, reduce your risk. So retain your talents in your company. But what if a person tells you that he still wants to leave after we have tried everything, right? What can we do? Only 4 steps I'm going to share here. Number 1, just stop. Don't throw your emotions into that situation. Just stop. Okay, tell yourself, stop yourself. Don't be angry, right? Number 2, look in that situation. Anything that I can do. Look properly. What can we do? List out the options and you choose. You choose what are the reactions that you want to give and what's next. Ask yourself this, what's next? What can I do? So, wonderful ladies and gentlemen, wonderful audience here today with us this morning, this afternoon, and this evening. I invite you to also do this 4 steps. Stop, look, where is your company right now? What is happening in your team? And you can choose among all of us here and what will be the next action that you want to take. One of it here is me, myself here. I'm here to assist if you need our help. And thank you so much for lending your ears to me. And this is a QR code for you to set a discovery call with me, right? So that we can understand more on how to address on your issues that you face with your team in your business or your company. Thank you so much and have a great session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, JJ. Thank you. If you feel empowered with this keynote, type empowered in the chat box, and your participation is totally valued. So if anybody wants to ask a question, you can type Q in the chat box, and I'd unmute you and you can ask the speaker itself. Yes. I've also dropped Mr. JJ's Calendly link. You can connect with him over there. All right, thank you, thank you. Anybody wants to share one key takeaway from the audience? That would be great. All right, so Mrs. Samir, you can unmute and share one key takeaway.
Fantastic presentation, JJ. Loved it. The way you conveyed the whole part. The main key takeaway which I take today is, retention is better than new hiring. Love that. Retention is always better than new hiring. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Samir. And we also have Mr. Suraj saying, I feel empowered. Thank you for empowering us. Thank you, Priya, for that comment. And I'll drop the link again in the chat box. And then I'd like to call upon our next speaker. But I would like to ask you, how many of you want to grow and accelerate? Type grow in the chat box. If you don't type grow, I'd assume you don't want to grow. So type grow in the chat box. Come on, go type grow in the chat box. Sachin says, I want to grow badly. You're at the right place, Mr. Sachin. Sonia Prabha says grow. Madhurima says grow. Excellent. That's the kind of engagement I would want to have. Thank you, Sapnaji. Thank you. So with that, I'd like to go on the next speaker. Sorry about this. All right. So the next speaker talks about the mantra for growth. Who all want to know the mantra for growth? Type SM in the chat box. Come on. Okay, great. SM, come on. Drop SM in the chat box. All right, lovely. So I would not make you wait too much, and I just jump on to the next speaker quickly. Our next speaker is from Seattle. Her name is Shreya Mehta. She's a professional growth coach. She's a talent acquisition partner in USA with 7 years of experience. She's trained around 320 plus professionals in their professional growth journey. She's working with immigrant community in USA for smooth transition and career gap. She's a president at Toastmasters Club for her professional growth and learning. She's also an action taker on women empowerment and equality. All right. She's mentored 9 refugees to help rebuild their lives. Wow. And her work mantra is prepare, perform, polish, and repeat. Her mission is to make believe that they are not done yet. And she's an amateur dancer, hiker, and a chef. She is basically an all-rounder. And I present you Shreya Mehta. Shreya Mehta, the floor is set for you.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Hi for being here. And thank you for all the fantastic comments and engagement in the chat box. Okay, perfect. Let me quickly go and find, and like you've been doing, give a thumbs up if you can see my chat box. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so we're going to talk about the mantra for growth today. I know that we have spoken a lot today about professional growth, how you can actually be better in what you're doing and how you can learn that skill. But what we're going to talk about right now is one thing that you need to take that next step in anything and everything that you want to do. All right, let's hear what that is. But before we get to work, which we're going to go to in like 2 minutes, I really want you all to be away from all the distractions. If you're out driving, do that. But if you're out and if you have like 5 minutes of your time, then probably pause, take something that you can take notes on. It can be a handwritten note or it can be a digitalized version. But make sure you're taking notes on the way while we're doing this presentation. And for whatever reasons, if you cannot catch up, it's okay, take screenshots. But definitely, it's going to be a lot more work on your side than on anyone else's side. All right, perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the mantra for growth, and which I say is goal setting. And I know fellow speakers have spoken about goal setting, like setting the goals in a smart way, which is like specific, measurable, achievable, and a little bit more, which you can reach out to the keynote speaker and they can talk more about it. But for me, the mantra for growth would always be goal setting. First of all, you need to dream. You need to figure out where you need to reach. If you are here on point A today, where do you want to go? What is that vision, and what is that vision that you have for yourself? I know JJ spoke about the vision and mission for the company, right? As on an individual level, what is your mission and what is your mission for yourself? All right. So once you decide on that, decide on doing it and then repeat it all again. So that is the process that we're going to work on. But what we're going to work on exactly is, let's dream. So I want you all to take down 3 dreams or goals that you want to achieve in the next 6 months. I know it's work. I know it's too quick, but I'll give 2 minutes. I have my stopwatch right here. I'll give you 2 minutes to write down 3 goals that you want to achieve in the next 6 months. Very big, very open-ended. I understand it. It can be professional, it can be personal, it can be related to spirituality, it can be related to fitness, it can be just as simple as developing a habit, which is not simple, by the way, but it can be as very simple and untangled as developing a habit. So go ahead, write it in the chat box, write it in with your pen and paper, write it on your digital device, but go ahead, write it. I'm giving that 1 minute now. And while we're doing it, I'm going to find my chat box because I know that I can. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys, give me 1 quick second. All right, I can see people giving fantastic comments. Record 2 courses, beginning my coaching journey with Bang, lose 15 kgs. All right, all of it fantastic. Okay, now when we have this, write it somewhere. And if not, then a mental note of it. Let's get to the next step, right? Like I said, it can be a professional goal, a fitness goal, a spiritual goal. I want to bring it to your notice that all of it comes back to a full circle, right? If you're not individually feeling motivated, if you're not healthy, you cannot go to a professional goal. If you're not healthy, you cannot go to a personal goal, right? So make sure that you understand that all these goals are very, very interrelated. That being said, what is next? Let's decide. How do you decide that out of these goals, which are priority? Which one I should be doing? Why am I doing it? So I'm going to give you some probing questions to decide how and why. All right. Are you all with me? Are you all with me? If you're all with me, yes, I see Sachin, Sonia. Perfect. Again, like I said, these 10 minutes, these 8 minutes are going to be about you, not about anybody else, about you, your growth, your next step. So let's do it. So the questions are, what are your fears? If you think you want to achieve this goal, what do you think would be your fear, right? Think about, okay, I can say one of my fears is I might not have the resources to do it. I might not have the capacity to do it, right? My parents might not permit, my spouse might not permit. I might not be able to take all that, workload alongside with other responsibilities I have, or I might actually break in between. I need an accountability partner. So go ahead and write down that either in your notebook, in your digital device, or here in the chat box. What do you think can be one of the obstacles that you might encounter? Okay, so because of the time, let's pick up on one goal and let's pick up on one fear that you might have about the goal, or a one question or an obstacle that you have. All right, great. Procrastination, inconsistency. I see it. I see you all. I read you all. Thank you so much for the chat box. And then go ahead. Once you look at the obstacle, go ahead. What do you think will work, right? What do you think you need from other people, from yourself to make that happen? So for an example, I want to have a consistency of doing yoga for 30 minutes every morning. And I was doing it, but then I had a hand injury and I had to stop, but I want to bring it back. So my fear is that I might hurt myself again. Second is I might not be as good as I was a few months ago, right? How can I overcome that? Right? I'll give you 30 seconds. Go ahead, write down how can you overcome that? All right, all right, all right. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I see distractions. Tell me what can work. Tell me what strategies might work around that. And I know some of us spoke about it, smaller goals, right? Writing it down, telling it to other people. Maybe that would help. That will give you an accountability that you might be missing. Small steps. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, having a mentor like me would definitely work, Sachin. No questions around that. All right, perfect. So once you've listed down your obstacle, write down a strategy that you think might work around it. All right, now once you have it, let's just go ahead and take an action, right? Be an action taker, start working on it. So from tomorrow morning, maybe I'll start working on that yoga and then see what worked and what didn't work. So what I'm trying to tell you is once you have a goal, everybody is fearful about something, right? There's something that might not work. But once you know that something might not work, figure out what might work, right? And I know that all of us have been speaking about growth mindset. We've spoken about affirmations. Bring that energy to that goal setting, bring that energy to that action taking, and then take it forward from there. Again, I'm going to give you some probing questions. I want you to either take a screenshot, write it next to your goal, and then of course, tell me in the chat box what's working. All right. So if it's worked, if it has worked, what worked? What didn't work? I can say for myself, what might work is me trying. What might not work is me having that thought in my mind that I'm going to hurt my hand, so I'm not going to be my 100% in the yoga, postures. What skills and support were used? What skills did you actually use to make that happen? I probably will use like my present mindset that I'm going to be super present, right? I still want to hear what you all are saying, right? Tell me, when you have all these obstacles or when you have the problems, and when you clarify them, when you take the next step, what works? Sometimes working with other people, asking for help, upskilling your own skills, right? Working on your own skills, or just sitting, meditating, and working out, reflecting back on what did not work and how can I take the next step by, again, learning more skills. Yes, exactly. Great point, Mama. Communicating what we want from people, it's a fantastic way to ask for help, to get that help. And sometimes a lot of time in our own mind, we have the thought process that if we will ask for help, we'll be taken as weak. No, we'll be taken as someone who is an action taker, someone who's ready to learn and take that next step. All right, perfect. Great, yeah. Be high on energy, introspect. Perfect. That's a great point, Kushal. All right. So once we've worked on it magic, repeat on that idea of what worked and what didn't work, right? Okay, I want one of you all to write one of the goals that you have written for today. And I know some of you have written losing 15 kg, some of you have written about procrastination, consistency. Write one of the failures you think, or one of the things that you think are failing you, or it's in your mind, or what are the strategies and action action you will be taking around that. I'm waiting for the chat box to buzz, or one of y'all can come out of mute and then ask those questions, because this is me and I would rather take one question than go on about my presentation, because I would really like to solve it in real time, then give you scenarios that might not fit for you. But more than else, yes, correct. It is. And that's why I gave you some great probing questions so that you can ask it for yourself, right? Yes, to achieve the goal. Execution of the plan is very, very important. And that's why we say, write it down, right? And write down what might work. Write down what might not work, correct? And then write down what resources did you use to make it work? What resources you can develop for yourself internally, and what resources can you actually ask for externally? Because they're like two ways, right? One is you have those habits, and second is you ask for support to develop those habits. Individually, if you want to grow, you definitely need support from internal and external, both of the factors. All right. Yes, vomit of words on the paper is important rather than leave it blank. Correct. Because then you can go back and see, it is from moving from point A to point B. I understand. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. But before that, this is me. You can scan right here. You can find me on different social medias. You can ask questions. I'm always available. I'll be happy to take this discussion of goal setting and how to get and achieve that goal to the next level, because I know that all of us are action takers and we will take the action for ourselves. Okay, let me stop sharing the screen and take questions if you all have any.
I have shared the Linktree link for Shreya. And guys, come on, type SM in the chat box if this gave you 10x value. If you have any questions, please ask away. The speaker is giving an opportunity to unmute and speak and ask these questions. Lovely. Samir says 10x. Surajji says excellent, 10x. Lovely. I think you have answered almost everyone, Shreya, and they don't have any questions. All right. So is it okay if I move on to my next keynote? We're almost coming towards an end. So, it is always said that personal branding is born with you. And to prove that, the next speaker that is coming up, I would like you to smash a cake in the chat box. This cake will not make you gain weight. It will only help you grow your personal branding. So smash that cake, because this speaker truly, truly justifies this statement that personal branding is born with you. Guys, come on, smash a cake in the chat box. You're not gaining any pounds with this. You're only having key takeaways on personal branding. Lovely. All right. So I'd like to call upon the birthday girl, Mama Tabassum, our personal branding coach. And before that, I'd like to wish her happy birthday, Mama. And she is going to craft 3 ways to craft a winning personal brand. All right, Mama. So, Umama Tabassum Memon is an image consultant and personal branding coach. She's the author of the book Amplify Your Career. She's a podcaster. She has a podcast, Amplify with Umama. And she is also a part of the Faculty of Business Communication at Thakur College, Mumbai. She's a certified image consultant and master trainer. Her mission is to help working professionals craft their unparalleled personal brands. She has conducted 50+ trainings, masterclasses, workshops across 10 different companies like Airtel, Cipla, Kotak, IFL, Brookfield Properties. She has also trained around 1,000+ individuals in communication, image management, and personal branding. And she's an avid reader, a content writer, and an acrylic art enthusiast. Now, if that is not a brand within itself, then what is? So are you guys ready for this amazing way to craft a personal branding? Come on, type UT in the chat box or drop a cake for her. Come on, guys. And wish the birthday girl happy birthday. Over to you, Mama.
Wow, that was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. It's a blessing to be here on my birthday. Just tell me who this lady could be. In the chat box quickly, if you do not know the name, at least the profession will do the job. Yes, any idea who she could be? I can see model, actress, actor. Cindy? Okay, oh, all right. Yeah, you are trying to guess it. Of course, certainly. A lot of you are saying that she is a supermodel. Yeah, a celebrity, true. Indeed, you are right. Her name is Amy Mullins. She is an American athlete, an actress, model. She is a public speaker as well, and not just a usual public speaker, a TEDx speaker, not just once, twice. She is additionally a record breaker at Paralympics, and that's why, that is the reason which makes her unique. Now the question is, why? Why Umama is talking about Amy Mullins? Well, let's understand it better. When she was an infant, her parents realized that she was not having her fibular bones, the bone that connect the kneecap with your ankles. She was missing it. And that was not just it. It never stopped her. She realized that there could be more. She learned to walk on prosthetics, then run on prosthetics, and competing at the Paralympics as a champion sprinter to set world records at Atlanta Paralympics in the year 1999. She compares her prosthetic legs to eyeglasses. You know, friends, that we wear eyeglasses depending upon different occasions, different designer glasses. So if we are up to a business presentation like this, I can see JJ wearing a wonderful glass here, and that looks pretty professional. However, if you are going out for any occasion like, you know, any holiday vacation, we would use our sunglasses. So depending upon different occasions, we choose different designer glasses. And Amy Mullins does that with her prosthetic legs. Depending upon different occasions, she uses her different prosthetic legs. As you can see on screen, she has a combination of wonderful prosthetic legs, which are, I mean, which look real and amazing. I mean, I would love to wear them, right? And this is how she flaunts her prosthetic legs. And that has created a wonderful personal brand for herself. She did not want to lose her identity because of her condition. She saw the opportunity that she had and used her prosthetic legs to brand herself uniquely. Amy crafted an unbeatable brand for herself. But what about you? Tell me in the chat box quickly, do you feel you have a wonderful personal brand as of now? Yes? No? I can see a few yes/no, yes, no. We have started building it. So my question to you, my dear friends, is, are you still trying to fit in those boxes that has been assigned to us, preset? Here is an exercise for you to quickly check whether you are having, what kind of mindset you are having, right? So let's quickly do this exercise, and I would request everybody to respond in the chat box. Do you believe in improving your skills versus working on your weakness? Tell me, what do you feel? Answer, yes. All right. Do you break down after failure versus do you stand tall after failure? Yes, I can see stand tall. Yes, stand tall. Most of us want to stand tall. True. Do you feel that we wish to trade time for money, or do you wish to create value out of that money? Value, 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 everyone. Yes, true, you are right. And the last one, do you feel you are the smartest person in the room, or do you wish to be surrounded by the smart people in the room? Yes, you wish to be surrounded by smart people in the room. So that's absolutely fine, whatever your answer is. This pretty much gives you a fair understanding of two categories of mindset, which we are going to talk about in detail here. So ideally, we have two categories of mindset in terms of personal branding. The first one is an employee mindset, and the second one is a personal branding mindset. Now, at this moment, I would request everyone to put it in the chat box. What do you feel could be an employee mindset, and what do you feel could be a personal branding mindset? Quickly. In the chat box, I can see employee mindset, yes, and personal. But what exactly do you feel they are? Business mindset, all right. I'm unique. That's what says Dr. Anushi. Thank you. When you promote your company and its product, that's an employee mindset. Employee is to complete the given task, kind of fixed and growth mindset. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Sachin Dahiya says just leaving paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, just living paycheck to paycheck. Sorry, my bad. Perfect, perfect. Let's try to understand in detail what these two mindsets are. Thank you so much for your wonderful responses. An employee mindset is all about blending in, the way color blends. Whenever you are in an organization, you blend in with your culture, right? You do not bring your own elements. You are fearful. You are, you are not very confident about putting up yourself, talking about it. Then comes sticking to a linear career path. You feel that, okay, this is the set path that I have to traverse. And you do not feel the need to try something different, the need to go out of that comfort zone and do something that is really captivating and disruptive, to be honest, right? Next one is seeking a particular job title. Now, often we are definitely given a job title whenever we are working for an organization, and we often aspire for the next title. Right now, I am a software engineer. Tomorrow, I'll be the team lead. Day after, maybe years after, I'll be the team manager. And then after that, possibly the CEO, right? This is how our brain works. We seek for a particular job title. And then we often rely on academic degrees to open our doors. Friends, trust me on this. Your degrees were applicable or valid only until the point you got the job. After that, it's just papers. You can burn them. Nobody is going to check them out, right? But you have to become different slightly. Now let's check out what a personal branding mindset is all about. Having a distinct personal identity, which means identifying who you are. If I say my name is Umama, it has to be followed by the uniqueness of Umama, right? Then being open to alternate paths. As I said, if you are focused on that linear career path and trying to traverse those paths, possibly it will be difficult for you after a certain point because there is no uniqueness. Even marriages fail here just because that element is missing, right? And that's why you should try multiple options. Showcasing your competencies. You have to bring in something extra, something different. Today you are certified until this level. Tomorrow you should try for something else, try for certain different certification. You have to build lifelong learning. Now, I have 3 ways for you so that you can create unparalleled personal brand for yourself. Are you all up for this? Can I see yes, yes in the chat box? Yes, I am up. 3 in the chat box. Yes, yes, yes. All right, perfect, perfect. So the first one is you have to engage in lifelong learning. Now, how do you do that? You go ahead with a lot of online courses out there in the market. You can self-study. I read a lot, and trust me on this, reading opens multiple doors for you. So go ahead, try to master one particular skill set that you wish to. Or you can also opt for university extension programs, right? There are a lot of programs. So let's say you want to go ahead and have a specific niche on personal branding. All the IIMs nowadays are providing this opportunity to you. So you can pursue that as well. Next one is you have to be competent and sell your brand internally, which means you have to communicate your competencies clearly. I am pretty sure, friends, you all are competent here for something or the other. But answer me this question. Do you really share your competencies? Do you really talk about your competencies? Do you say, I am one of the best digital marketer here? Do you say, I am one of the best team player here? No. Why? Because we feel, if we boast about ourselves, people will be like, yaar, what is this person saying? No. If you are competent, tell it to others so that they will know who is the right person to contact when the need arises, right? So go ahead, talk about your competencies. Of course, in a subtle way, do not boast about it. The way you talk matters a lot, right? Next one is you have to understand the need of your boss and your own co-workers so that you are in sync and in synergy with them. Now, the next and the most important point is choose your own job title. Now, in the chat box, quickly type C if you are confused with this particular statement. How can I choose my own job title? I'm already in an organization. that has already tagged me like a software engineer, tagged me like a team leader, tagged me like a learning manager, tagged me like a training and development manager. How can I, right? I can see all the C's here. True. Absolutely, you are right. Your company, because you are working for an organization, definitely they are going to put you in those boxes that they already have for yourself. But do this from tomorrow, right away in your company, dear. Give yourself a tagline. Showcase who you are, what you do, what you stand for. So I'll give you my example. I am into personal branding space. I am an image consultant. Now, what I do, all my emails, all my notifications, all my messages will have this tagline, keep amplifying. That's the personalization that I have done for myself. Of course, in your organization also, all your emails will have your signature. You can add those 2-3 words for yourself, and that will make you unique, because from tomorrow onwards, people will know you with, let's say, Dr. Anushi Somaya, and followed by a tagline that is beautiful, that is unique to you. That's the power of personal branding I'm talking about. So here are a few quick tips for you. Think about how you can contribute on more projects. So just not focusing yourself into those boxes and saying that, okay, I'm just going to do the task that has been assigned to me, not more than that. Come out of the mindset, which is an employee mindset. Stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a company, offering your clients the best. So even if you are working for an organization and a certain project within that, feel that project to be your own organization, dedicate the best that you can do. That's the power of a personal brand that you have created for yourself. To sum it up, personal branding is the best gift that you can give to yourself. Start personalizing it now. Thank you so much, everyone. If you wish to connect, I have all my details here. You can, of course, scan this QR code, and Sonia will be sharing the link as well. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, I'll be up to answer that.
Thank you, Mama. If that wasn't a cake smashing, inspiring keynote presentation, then I don't know what is. So let's hear from you guys in the chat box. If anybody wants to come up and share an insight, please kindly share it in the chat box. Type me in the chat box and I'll unmute you, and then you can share one insight. Also, let me know how far are you liking this summit? Rakiji saying best gift to self is best gift to self. Loved it. Okay, great, great. Would anybody like to unmute and share some insights in the chat box and unmute themselves? Personal branding is really important, says Shreya. Somebody's wishing you happy birthday. This was very insightful. Whittle says yes. Ashwini says one more free cake for Omama. Thank you, Mr. Ashwini. Loving it. 10x. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. That's
Sorry,
great.
can I quickly say something?
Sure, go ahead, Shreya.
All right, perfect. Mama, what I really loved about it is, there are multiple key takeaways, of course, but what I loved is you got to tell the world who you are, not boost about it, but maybe glorify it, kind of talk about it, because a lot of people can't see that, can't hear that, can't read what you've written. So I think I'm definitely going to follow that a little bit more. I come from a perspective where it's like, am I boosting? Do I want to be super modest? Because that's what we've been taught in practicing. So from here onwards, probably I'm going to talk a little bit more about myself in that sense. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shreya. That is one of the best ways to brand yourself. Yes, that's true.
Thank you very much, Omama and Shreya.
Sonia, Sachin wants to say something in the chat box. He has mentioned. Yes, Sachin, go ahead.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Sonia. Amazing presentation. I think as Shreya mentioned, the same point I want to mention, no, Mama, that people try to label us or the organization put you in a box, but you should have your personal branding. You should be, known for something different, and that's so relevant, especially in corporate world, right? We have been labeled as, okay, you are this, you are that. So it's important to come out of that, creating your own brand, take some new initiative, be known for something, right? And yeah, that's the learning. Thank you so much once again. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sachin. And true, I mean, I was with corporate industry for 6 years, and I know how they put you into boxes. But there is that one way out wherein you can personalize everything about yourself. That's what it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Sachin, and thank you, Mama. Even Rakichi says, learned and practicing it very late in my career, but since I started self-branding, I am all in it now. Thank you so much, Mama, for setting the stage for personal branding for all of us. And with that, I'd be moving on to the last keynote presentation of the day, last but not the least, as they say. Let's hear it from our next coach, who wants to talk about master your mind and grow. None other than Dr. Anushi Soumya, who is from Dubai. She's an author, speaker, holistic life coach. She's a founder and director of Divine Wellness. She's also a published author of an anthology called Caterpillar to Butterfly, which is available on Amazon. So go grab your copies, guys. She's internationally certified Heal Your Life workshop leader and teen and youth empowerment facilitator from the Heart Inspired USA, which is affiliated to the legendary Louise Hay. Her personal healing story was featured in newspapers like Khalij Times, The National, and ZTV Middle East. Her workshop, courses, programs, and personalized coaching has helped around people achieve their personal goals and to have a more fulfilling life. So far, she's impacted 2,500 plus lives. She offers free coaching to cancer patients all around the world. It is her dream to see a world without pain and problems, where there is only love and peace inside and out. If that isn't loving, then what is? Drop a heart in the chat box if you want to hear from Dr. Anushi Soumya. Lovely. I've started.
Thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful introduction, Sonia. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. All the wonderful greetings to all the wonderful people who are here from all joining me from all around the world. Big applause to all people who have remained present till the end. So before I go further, I want to ask you two key questions. How many of you want to grow professionally at the same time remain calm and relaxed? Just type in yes in the chat box. Yes, I can see all the me's. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. How many of you want to have exponential professional growth, even have well-being in abundance in other areas of your life? Just raise your hands. Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much for participating. Yes, dear ones, you are at the right place. We all want to do that. So let me share my screen here. All right. Can you see the screen? Just give me a thumbs up. Yes, I can see that. That's amazing. Thank you. Yes, I will be using minimum of the this distraction because I love seeing all of you. So for getting that, if you feel that you want to achieve that, I want everybody to be present here fully. Leave all the distraction on your videos. Experience this. You have heard a lot with lots of wonderful presentations and keynotes, but now it's time to feel, experience it, and internalize it. Because the study says that that's when you actually bring long-lasting impact. All right, so are you all ready? Just type in R in the chat box. I cannot see any R's. Yes, you are all ready. So let us do one exercise. I want each one of you to wake up, get up from the sitting place where you are sitting and just stretch your arm in front. Just move your hands a little bit. I want each one of you to get up. Yes, thank you for participating. Thank you. Even some of you are fasting. You are joining me. Thank you, everyone. Yes, you're doing good. You can do that, guys. You can do that. Thank you. All right. Now I want each one of you to stretch your right arm in front. Stretch your right arm. Pointing your index finger, just turn it on the right side, maximum. Now just notice, where did it reach? Just point that finger, just see where did it reach. Okay, notice, keep that in your mind. Okay, my hand is reaching to here. Now, this time I want you to close your eyes and keep your finger straight and don't do it anything, but just visualize that. This beautiful hand has got some magical power. Now just with your closed eyes, see that your hand is moving double than what it could move before. Just see that happening with your closed eyes. Just see that happening. Now this time, see that some more magical powers had reached to this hand, and it is able to turn 360. Able to move from over the circle and it's coming. See it happening. Just flip this game. See it in closed eyes. See that happening. All right, now open your eyes. Open your eyes and try it now. Try doing it. Aren't you all astonished to see the result here? It could do much more than what it could do for the first time, right? If you could do that, just type in yes in the chat box. Yes, wow, thank you. Anybody? Yes, Mama, thank you so much. So what happened here? I can see so many yes. Thank you, Samir. Thank you, Sapnaji. So what happened here? Your mind is incredibly powerful. It is like a fertile garden. Whatever you plant, that grows. What do you plant? Thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you plant, that grows abundantly. What kind of thoughts do you have? Are they of trust, love, peace, abundance, appreciation, lack, or they are of lack, fear, worry, and problems? Are they of solutions or they are of problems? What kind of thoughts are you planting on a daily basis? Just think about it. If they are of fear-based or are they of growth-based? Whatever you plant, that grows abundantly. That universe, that God, that universal power that you are part of is abundant, loving, and generous. Always gives you whatever you believe in. So how is that? What kind of, this is a one thing I want to ask you, that if you keep on doing same kind of thought, that's same kind of result, you are going to get it. So how could you change it? It's very simple. The way you change your thinking, that's what the result are going to impact. Is it doable? Many of you just heard the keynotes. Everything happens first in the mind and then comes as a result. But is it doable? No. Before mastering your mind, telling a different story, you need to manage your mind. You need to calm it. You need to relax it. And do you agree to that? If you agree, just type A in the chat box. Can I see some participation? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vinisha. Thank you. Thank you, Ashwini. Thank you, Sachinji. So yes, how would you manage your mind? How can you calm your mind? So that I'm giving you two simple ways, but very, very useful, which you can first manage your mind and then master your mind. Most important aspect to impact your mind is to use your two gifts, two magnificent gifts which God has given. One is body, other is mind. Do physical exercise, walking, jogging, swimming, whatever you feel like. Every single day, if you do 30 minutes of physical exercise, it impacts you because it decreases stress hormone and it increases your serotonin, happy hormone. Mental exercise, breathing exercise or meditation. Now, when I say this, how many of you feel that I can't do it, right? Most of you can relate to that, right? So let me actually take you through a simple process where you can actually do it. So let's experience it, feel it, and internalize it. What if I say that this easiest breathing exercise can just in 2 minutes makes you totally calm and energizes you? Do you want to experience that? Just raise your hand. Can I see some hands? All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that. So I want each one of you to participate here. Just bring your hands, make fists. Trust me, just in 2 minutes, you have lots of things on your head, a big interview, or there's a you want to energize in the morning, you can use this exercise. Just make fist, keep your hands just near your chest. Yeah. I want each one of you to participate here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for doing that. I can see some lovely faces doing this exercise with me. So now, inhale and take your hands up. Very quickly exhale and bring your hands down. Breathing is something like this. So you are breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your nose and bringing them down. I want each one of you to do this for 10 times. All right, keep your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. Feel what you are feeling. You can feel some tingling in your body. Feel a bit relaxed, mind centered. I'll do this second time. I want each one of you to participate and do this little harder this time. Let's do it. Keep your hands, yes, on your thighs. Close your eyes. Keep your eyes closed. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can feel a bit energized. I want each one of you to keep your eyes closed. I'll take you through one process now. And just feel each word. And take you to the deeper, calmer state right now. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And blow out through your mouth. Imagine you are inhaling relaxation. Allowing that relaxation to flow in the body and blow it out, all the tension. Continue breathing in and out. Let the wave of relaxation flow from your head to your shoulders, to your torso, to your legs, to your feet. Feel the whole body relaxing a little bit more. Feel your mind relaxing a little bit more. Keep your focus inside. Imagine that most incredible power of the universe is showering that beautiful light upon you. Brilliant light is flowing into your head. Magical power reach to your shoulders, your torso, your legs, your feet, going deep into the earth. You're feeling centered, feeling powerful, feeling confident, you're feeling calm. Body and mind are totally balanced. Stay in this beautiful state. Feel that magical power and your connection with that universal power. And let each word go deep within. In infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. My life is ever new. Each moment of my life is new, fresh, and vital. In this new moment, I am willing to be free. Today's thoughts create my future, and I am the in charge. This is a new day. This is a new me. I think differently, I speak differently, I act differently, and others treat me differently. My new world is a reflection of my new thoughts and beliefs. It is a joy and delight to plant new seeds, knowing they will become my new experiences. In this new moment, I am choosing thoughts of trust, love, peace, happiness, calmness, support, success, empowerment, and possibilities, and abundance. All that trust, love, peace, appreciation, abundance, and well-being is flowing into my life. I'm one with the prospering power of the universe. I can prosper in number of ways. It's my birthright to enjoy harmonious, loving relationships, work that I love doing, and richly rewarded for that every way, and financially and every. I'm happy, healthy, wealthy, peaceful, and so much loved. All my areas are abundant and fulfilling. I'm mentally, emotionally, physically, materialistically wealthy and abundant. I am moving from success to success and glory to glory, sharing my unique gifts with the world and making this world a better place. I am happy, healthy, beautiful, loved, and precious child of God. I deserve this beautiful, blessed life, and I am accepting this beautiful, blessed life now. So it is, so it is, so it is. Feel that each word is true for you. Now move your fingers, wiggle your toes, and slowly rub your palms. And you can open your eyes. Thank you everyone for participating. If I ask you one word, what is coming in your mind? How are you feeling? Peaceful, calm. Thank you, Samirji. Thank you, Shreya. Calm. Calmer. Thank you, Vinisha. Serene. Thank you, Mama. Relax. Thank you for your answers. Yes, dear ones, each one of you are capable of having that all abundance and well-being in your outer life. You deserve that beautiful blessing. And for that, mastering your mind and growing personally as well as professionally, you need to first manage it by calming it. So I have one gift for all of you. This is free mini video course, 3 exercises to de-stress yourself. You can scan it, access it. I will very soon, Sonia will even post the link in the bio. in the chat box so that you can remain connected with me and I'll keep on giving you value for improving your personal and professional growth. Thank you all for joining me. Always remember that you deserve a beautiful, blessed, abundant life, no matter who are you, where you are right now. All the best. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anushi. I think this is what we needed towards the end of this amazing summit. And thank you so much. If this was calming for all of you, please type calming, peaceful, whatever comes to your mind. As you can see, also my energy has just spaced out because of this. Thank you so much, Dr. Anushi. And with this, we come towards the end of our summit. If it's okay, we'd just like to take 5 more minutes for your feedback. And I'd also like to share some personal gifts that are given by each of these speakers, and also a bonus by your host for your growth and success. So if that's okay, please type in the chat box, yes, 5 more minutes. Sorry. All right, thank you, everybody. So with this, if anybody would come up and would like to share how this summit was, whether you received any value from this, anybody can type in the chat box, me, and come up with this. A feedback in 10 quick seconds, that would be great. Thank you. You can unmute and share it with us. It would also empower your speakers so that they can serve better.
Hi, Sonia, can I share?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Firstly, I would like to congratulate TLC Polaris for conducting this amazing meeting and all the lead chairs, and of course the moderator Sonia. Thank you so much for doing it. And just I'm listening to you all from last 3 hours and 4 minutes, and it's been really amazing value that you guys have added. Covering all the points from professionals to mindset to growth to money to personal branding, goal setting, everything you guys have covered. Was love, self-love, everything. So if not 10x, I think it's completely 1000x value that you guys are giving. So thank you so much for this wonderful summit. And the best part was it was so timely, organized. Every person was there speaking for 10-15 minutes, and then the next speaker, and then the next speaker. So it was really amazing summit to be a part of. So thank you so much, and congratulations once again to all the speakers and to the audience as well, those who have been there. So thank you so much for having me here. Over to you.
Thank you so much for that valuable feedback, Sachin. And we have been seeing that you've been interacting with us. And also, I'd like to read a few comments from the chat box. Priya says, Sapnaji wants to say it. Sapnaji, go ahead.
Thank you for this opportunity, TLC Polaris and our VP and everybody else who made this happen. And Sonia for this wonderful moderation. This has been cemented so beautifully by her. And there have been amazing takeaways from here. And I noticed that we had this 47 number, and all through these 3 hours, that number has not changed. Nobody dropped out. That itself speaks volumes about the value this summit has brought today to everyone. So thank you everyone for putting in this huge amount of effort from every direction. And thank you for everyone, the participants of this summit, for bringing in so much amazing energy for all of us and the keynote speakers as well. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you so much. Amazing evening, afternoon, actually. Thank you.
I'd just like to read a few, if that's okay. Priyaji says, got an insight into the minds of successful people and their career. Thank you, Priyaji, for joining us. Kalpana ji says, all speakers were amazing. Special thanks to Mama. You were awesome. Various aspects were covered to professional growth. Sapna ji says, Thank you. Mr. Ashwini says, joined at 11:20 IST and engaged till now. The power of content, presentation, audio, video quality through thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you, Mr. Ashwini. Also, Manchit says, thank you all. Is it possible to get the recording for this session? Apparently not. I would love to share it, but we cannot. It was very motivating. I feel confident of taking my baby steps. Well, thank you. And Vanisha ji says, thank you. It kept us glued, quite insightful and useful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for these wonderful shares that you have shared in the chat box. I wish I could read all of them. And now it is time for a group picture. And then I would like to share my 10 bonuses. So everybody who has joined us today, if you could please turn your videos on so we can take a nice group picture. Everybody. Okay, I have 2 screens, so I'd be taking 2 clicks. And I would want you to put your best smiles out there. So at the count of 3, are we getting the videos on? All right, at the count of 3. Lovely. Great to see all these beautiful faces. Where were these faces when we were having a summit? All right, so at a count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Are you guys ready? Ready? You can unmute right now and just say ready.
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 All right, so 1, 2, 3. So 1, I would like to take a second screenshot. All right, so 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you everybody for joining us. And before that, please, for another 2 minutes, and I would like to end up with a closing quote. That is, you can just sit there and wait for people to give you that golden dream, but you, like our speakers gave you today, but you've got to get out there and make it happen for yourself, by Diana Ross. So think about it. What does it mean? Think about it. And I hope you had amazing key takeaways from today. And for all of you who were here with us till towards the end, you can scan this QR code, get your freebies. I have also added a session with you for a free session with who all joined us today. That will be given by our TLC community, which is happening on this coming Tuesday. You guys can click on the teachers and leaders link, and you guys can sign up and join us for a free master session and become a coach, trainer, author, speaker, become anything that you want, because everything possible, right? So thank you very much. I hope you all have scanned it, and I will also share the link in the chat box. I will be sharing this beautiful picture that we took on our Instagram, so you all can follow us there and you all can check this picture out from there. Thank you. And all those who did screenshot, do share it with us, do tag us in your stories. Thank you very much. And the meeting is officially over here. You all can share your feedback with us. Or you can unmute. Whoever wants to say something, they can.
Great moderation, Sonia.
Thank you.
Yes. To keep up the energy for 2-3 hours, it's a great deal. So
Event was so good that my energy was it just kept on growing, because this is all about growth.
Your success is counted. There's a lunchtime where we all are sitting there.
Thank you. I hope now you all can go have lunch, enjoy your snacks, and those who have Ramadan Kareem to all of you. And thank you, Mama, for that wonderful comment. I would also
again, please.
Sorry,
I lost it.
Scan this. Also,
Thank you our leaders from all different masterminds that you joined. Thank you, Sriniji. Thank you, Raki. Thank you. If I'm missing out on anyone else, those who join us. Hemant, thank you so much, Mr. Hemant Laheja, for joining. Thank you, Mani Mistriji, for joining us. Who else do we have from other masterminds? I think, there are a couple more people who joined us. So thank you so much for your wonderful participation and your time. I hope you must have loved it. Any feedback, if you have, you can unmute and share too. Would love to hear.
Something very useful for around 3 hours, maybe for around 2.5 hours, when especially to the moderator, kept everything in good humor, and the speakers who were excellent in their own fields. Good to see some good faces from Tilt 22 and 23, Anjali and our permanent MC as of now. And I
True.
started with Sujata ma'am. It was excellent, ma'am. It was simply outstanding. Communication is something we have been learning every day and day and out. So it was really nice to see. And naturally, Umama, we had a room next to her until 23. So sweet memories are on. So nice.
Okay, thank you so much.
Good,
Thank you.
good to see Rakhi ji here as well from my own circle. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Rakesh, anything from your end?
Yeah, it was super. When during this session, I actually messaged Sachin that we should do it with our group as well, Helios. It was so amazing, the energy, the power, the coordination. It feels like, we can do. I had an outing plan for Sunday, beautiful weather here in Hong Kong, but I canceled that to attend this.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was so
Thank
meaningful.
you.
And
Thank
I
you.
already started following you, Anjali. I'm going to, see all your videos and get inspired. Umama, superb. I joined a little bit, but I started when Sujata ji was presenting. It was so powerful. And definitely, I need to connect with more of Polaris team members now.
Definitely you can. Definitely you can. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share their feedback? Any member also? You can also unmute and share your feedback. We are closing in next 60 seconds otherwise.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, just one quick thing. I mean, of course, everybody have shared their bit, but today is a special day for me. It's my birthday, and staying for 3 hours on my birthday to a meeting and, listening to all the speakers, commendable job done there, everyone. Loved the way you presented. Love the kind of engagement you have built and the preparation and the professionalism that you have brought in. So yeah, thank you for our own personal brands. We can outshine ourselves always.
True.
More power to
True.
you. Thank you so
Maybe
much.
we can sing a song for her.
Oh
Happy birthday
no!
song. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes, can we do that?
Yes.
I would
Let's
request
do
all of
it.
us
Yes.
unmute.
Yes. Do it.
Let's
Do it. Do it.
Yes, 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 yes,
Happy
yes.
birthday
Day
to
To
you.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday
to
to
you.
you. Happy
Happy
Birthday,
birthday,
dear
Mama.
Umama. Happy
Happy
birthday to you.
Wow, wow. Thank you.
At the
That's
count.
it.
Arush.
That's it.
God bless you.
Yeah, Power Rush.
Thank
One,
you.
One,
2,
3.
3.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Much needed.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank
Let's
you.
also
Would
thank
love
our
to add
moderator.
to.
Let's thank
Yeah,
our
I
Yeah.
moderator as well.
thank
Yeah.
you so much,
Thank you so much, Sonia.
Sachinji.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sachinji,
Yes,
I
over to
want
you.
to just
Thank you,
end with
Sonia.
that.
thank you.
Sonia, you were amazing. And all Polaris. Actually, I feel that was the perfect combination of skill set and mindset for personal and professional growth. So I love the whole content, because when we started, we did not know how will it come back to the real piece. But I think that the main dish was really delicious, what we presented at the end. So that goes to each one of us. So big applause to all of us and all the audience also. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Shall we give a bonus to Sonia? All of us?
Yes.
And Sonia, the
Yes.
bonus is the next moderation is also yours.
Okay.
She goes beyond boundaries.
Yes.
Anything to
yes.
serve and impact 100,000 million lives.
Yeah.
Thank you. And also thanks Shreya as well. I think it's midnight there in Seattle or what, right?
Yes.
How much?
Yes.
What's the time right
Many
now?
of
It's like 1:45 a.m.
Oh, freak.
Oh my
God.
God.
They look so
Globally.
fresh.
Let's put a clap for
Globally.
her as well.
Exactly.
I'm surviving.
Yeah.
I'm surviving with
Same,
tea.
same. One of my participants, she's joining from Australia. It's night time. So we
Yeah.
are,
Oh wow.
yes. So globally,
But
we are
I'm
looking.
loving it, and it doesn't feel like, and I look fresh because, like
QR
Mama
code.
said, like,
Also shared the Linktree link in the chat box. So those who were trying to access it, you can just get it from the link in the chat box. And also all the speakers that are with us here today, I would like you to turn your videos on. I think everybody's here. Only JJ left, but I'd like to take a screenshot of ours as well, if that is okay. So
Oh yes.
beyond okay.
So,
I hope Vishal has reached Ahmedabad or what? Vishal, where are you right now?
Midway.
Dharamshala.
The midway. Dharamshala.
Mute.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, lovely. Thank you,
I
Vishal.
think the social media answers everything before you ask a question to.
What?
He's
No, I
looking at
haven't
social
checked.
media and he's
I
going to
haven't
the
checked. I haven't checked. I haven't checked. Yeah, I thought he was.
Be
Okay.
ready when you're ready.
What are we doing?
What to do? Which
क्या
question?
तो ये बताएंगे हमें क्या
Pose.
करना है.
Pose ही नहीं करना है, हंसना है बस.
अच्छा.
All right, so
Okay.
Just happy faces.
Yeah, let's
No
fight.
microphone,
Like
please.
no,
No,
Ready when you are.
अच्छा, no microphone, please. Okay.
करें, चले ready?
Yes, ready.
One,
One,
two. Get your best smiles out there, everybody. I need to open. 1, 2, 3. One more. Okay, done.
Thank you, Sonia.
I'll take one last. I think I blinked in the last one. Can you take one last? Sorry.
Guys.
One last. I think I blinked in the last one.
अरे फिर से headphones निकालना पड़ेगा.
Guys, this is an opportunity for everybody because I know most of you are unhappy. So this is an opportunity for everybody.
Okay.
I was secretly okay. नहीं अच्छा लगा. Okay. Done. I hope
Thank you.
hearts were receptive and minds were also receptive. Thank you. ठीक है?
Thank you.
Shall
Thank you.
enjoy your time and everybody have a lovely Sunday.
Yes.
Everybody,
Yeah.
Bye. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, we will have a okay.
Bye.
Last before leaving out, we're gonna have a review on Tuesday. Please join that meeting. We will discuss on like how was the summit, your feedback, everything on next Tuesday meeting.
Three cheers for Polaris. Hip hip.
Absolutely.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray! Hooray!
Awesome.
All were so awesome.
Thank you.
Polaris
Very
does the
helpful.
magic, man. Polaris does the magic. The way we are, I mean, caterpillar to butterfly, and now this. I mean, we are amazing, guys. We are amazing.
Maybe
We
this
can make anything happen. Anything happen.
Yeah, absolutely great. Thanks to our lead chairs. I think that the way they have organized this and the conducting. Thank you so much, Dr. Noshi. So,
I'm sure it is not easy to do this because how much follow-up is required. Anjali knows when we wrote Caterpillar to Butterfly, and now the LCs know how bad it is, to take the entire team and do something at the summit.
So and how
I finished my PPT last night at 3:40.
अरे I did it this morning. I shared it with Sachin कि देख लो कुछ रह तो नहीं गया इसमें.
हाँ 3:40 same thing. सुबह 4 बजे तक मैं PPT बना रही हूँ. मतलब कितना time से they're telling and still ऐसे ही है last minute वाला काम.
Procrastination, Sapna ji, keeping it towards the end.
No, I had something going. But
All right, everybody.
too many things
yes,
happening.
thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Happy lunching.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Hello, जाके सब कोई. Thank you.
Happy birthday
Cake
again,
भेजना,
Mama.
Mama.
Enjoy.
हलवा पूरी किसने बोला भी?
मैंने बोले जाओ खा लो सबके सब. बेचारे भूखे बैठे हो.
आपके तरफ से भी खा लेते हैं.
आप केक भिजवा देना.
आज happy birthday lunch करेंगे हम लोग.
Cake.
Smash the cake on the floor today.
Send cake.
अच्छा, Sonia Singh smash the cake. How do you smash the cake?
She was also wondering how to do it.
Basically,
How
it
to
was
smash
putting in
it?
the chat box. Chat box पे जैसे
That's the way to engage the audience.
Yeah.
That's the way to engage the
We
audience.
did
Smash
get
कैसे
engaged.
करना
थोड़ा सोचना पड़ा कि क्या कैसे smash करते हैं.
है.
जो पीछे हमारे वीपी हैं ये आइडियाज दे रहे थे, लिख रहे थे. Smash करो बॉम्ब.
जितने भी स्क्रीनशॉट है ना कुछ कमेंट मेरे जरूर मिलेंगे पर्सनल टीम पे, तो उनको हटा देना.
क्या
while posting.
ये
तो भी स्क्रीनशॉट्स भेजिए.
को भी